and traded that interesting box that you picked up on the in the bilge. The cargo hold of the Emperor of Waves, and received 10,000 gold as a result of the trouble of bringing it back. Um, you guys then took that money, bought a few things at ruins and such, although Topaz has now vowed never to go back. Or at least to talk bad about the poor tiefling owner that it was then went to lunch with Lobu to ask him questions about sea elves, especially about how you guys live and what cool structures you guys make under the water. And I believe that's actually where we ended up leaving. Oh, right, the other fun part of last session. That mysterious doll and the things that came out of the mirror after you used the mirror of the past on it. Um, these three cloaked figures plus a woman in a white coat, none of which spoke common or any other language you could decipher. The three cloaked figures, after you killed them, turned out to be some kind of proto-goblinoids that kind of resembled hobgoblins. Lobu, using his awakened mind skill, managed to suss out information to that effect from the woman whose name is Cassandra Cole, and with some talking back and forth, especially with Dovin, who used his skill of or his spell of what was it? Languages. What's that attack spell again, Dovin? Comprehend language.
Comprehend language.
All right, using comprehend language, managed to get a dialogue going. That the rest of the group was able to get in on this, and kind of figured out that she's from sometime in the deep past, before the Sundering, possibly even a lot older than that, and that somehow using that mirror on the doll brought her here to this time. You then left her on the ship and went with Thalia to sell that box, and Volin yeah, Volin was left sleeping in her in her in her room during all that. The party did check in on her, probably, I imagine, out of off screen, asking if she was okay. But pretty much by the time that she actually got out of the room and was finally paying attention to the fact that there'd been a bunch of fighting sounds, and there was there's the sound of thunder and lightning right over the ship. And now that we're finally at port, it's like, yeah, we're selling something, and there's this weird woman who's now been placed on another floor of the ship, and Cogsworth and Fumble are currently inactive. Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hello.
So, um, if it's okay, if Volan and Cogsworth slash Fumble are ready, I could take you guys down to the second roll 20 group, so we can get a little bit of what's going on before you reconnect with the rest of the party, if that's okay.
Sure.
Cool. Alright. Volan, from your perspective, it's been several hours now since the rest of your crew departed, and Cogsworth and Fumble are still standing there on the deck, completely inert, ever since the use of the mirror. You have that mysterious woman that you can't talk to. That's down in the hole. That's down in a room on the ship, and it's probably It might be frustrating. It might be not. Like these people are kind of crazy at times, so it's no way of knowing what they're gonna do from day in and day out. Oh, and there was some mention that mushrooms are now growing all over the place in the bilge.
Oh my god.
Before they left.
Sorry. Why are there mushrooms on my ship?
It's because of Squish, or Fred, or whatever they're calling him.
I smuggled Squish onto the boat in a barrel. Bumble.
But
are you feeding them? Yes. Okay.
At this point, actually, when you're probably wondering what the hell's going on, Bolin, the eyes in the Warforged finally reactivate, and Trumbull, Cogsworth, the last thing you guys remembered was that you were holding that mirror in your hand. The doll had just been dropped in front of it. You focused it on the doll, saw these weird images, and all of a sudden, people from the mirror suddenly appeared around you, and that's the last thing you remember.
Great. Why do I feel like I'm missing something?
Are you, I don't know, are you missing your pet that you smuggled onto my ship? Is that what you're missing?
Sorry.
You okay over there, Elf?
I feel like shit.
Aw.
I'm coughing. I just don't feel good. Look, I'm sorry I smuggled something onto your ship, okay? He wanted to come with us.
I don't think he did.
I put him in the barrel. He went willingly. And I'm gonna let him out at night so he can wander.
Wait, why are you letting him out? Wait, no. You're not gonna let him grow mushrooms over the rest of my ship.
Well, so what? He just has to stay in a dark, damp place the rest of his life?
Yes,
He can't explore.
there is nothing on the ship that he would enjoy.
He might enjoy some fresh air.
Fine. Okay,
What
do
if
you know...
what if I make him a leash?
I mean, it's a pretty big mushroom frog. I don't care. You know what? It's your pet. You take care of your pet.
Grizz, can I try to make a leash?
Sure. And from the looks of it, by the way, it looks like it's just Fumble's eyes at the moment that you've come to recognize.
Well, yeah, because Cogsworth would be saying, we can get rid of it. It's fine. Get it out of here.
Wait, do we know where the rest of the crew members, like...
Volan, you know...
Buddy.
Volan, you're aware that the rest of the party went off to sell that crate. It's been hours and they haven't come back.
Oh my god. Alright, so they went...
They left us.
They did.
We're alone.
Or do we want to stay
Stuck
here?
alone with you.
Are you?
I'm a die.
It's like mid-afternoon at this point. The sun's overhead, and you're right on the port, overlooking the city of Orin.
We should go looking for them. Because they're absolutely doing something illegal.
Is it? What time of day is it?
It's mid-afternoon.
Damn it. Shit. I was gonna bring Squish with me.
Oh my god. I'm getting off the ship. I'll talk to the crew.
That isn't here either.
Just make sure nothing happens with the fucking frog, alright? I'll
So
be back soon.
it's at this point the strange woman, Cassandra. Well, actually, you don't. Volan, you ever told her name, but Fumble, Fumble wouldn't have been introduced to her. Comes wandering up onto the deck.
I lean over to Fumble.
She's got blue eyes, kind of long black hair, and kind of pale because of she's probably spent a lot of time indoors type of skin.
I look at Volan and just whisper, "Who the fuck is that?"
Apparently her name's Cassandra, but she doesn't talk.
Hi, Cassandra.
Cassandra looks Cogsworth. Fumble. My bad. I was just looking at my brain drew on the name there. Fumble up and down and nods a bit and puts up a hand and kind of does a little wave thing, and then starts speaking in a language you don't understand.
Great. So our translators aren't here. That's fine. I'm gonna grab one of the crew, kind of like by the shoulder. Keep an eye on her, please.
Yes, Captain. And he salutes.
Great. Fumble, do you want to come with me? Because these idiots are absolutely doing something that's gonna get us in trouble.
Sure.
Alright, let's go.
She looks down like, man, I can't take Squish. And just kicks her foot on the ground like, darn it.
You're fine. You're fine.
I do need to get some food for Squish.
Isn't Squish carnivorous?
Yes.
That's terrifying, but okay.
It's okay. He likes fish,
Okay.
I think.
So, where would you like to start looking for your lost companions?
I mean,
Fuck if I know.
do we know the place they were trying to sell the box?
Uh, roll a intelligence check.
Sure.
Oh god,
No,
we
you
definitely
you
don't.
can't remember the name of the person that they're supposed to get the box back.
What's his fucking name? Didn't it start with an A or something? The guy with the box.
Okay.
Uh,
You mean the box that we went to the ship to get?
yeah, right. They were looking to get the gold.
Wasn't there like a butler or something that we needed to talk
something
to?
about a butler? I don't know.
Oh no. Oh no.
We could ask around. We could ask if they saw the two sea elves walking around. Anybody who's in the area that has to.
Are we in
ring
the same port with that tiefling that really likes
Yes.
the elves?
Yes, you are.
Let's go ask him.
Let's go ask him. Okay, we know where that place is, right?
Yes, you do. It's called Ruins and such, and you remember the street it's on, and all the other shops that are on that street.
All
I'm
right.
going to head that way.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
So, you guys are finishing up with your meals. At the it's on the other page. At the Crab and Fern. Lebu, you've had a long conversation with Random about pretty much everything you can think of to tell him about sea elves.
Nice.
If there's anything you wish to add to that.
We're at a crab place.
Crab and Fern. You guys have been having having a late a lunch at a place called Crab and Fern. So it sells like seafood, specializing in like crab and such, and salads.
We went here with Dovin. Oh no.
It's okay. I understand. It's not Callie, so it's okay.
Yeah, nothing in particular to add to that, I don't think.
All right. So I take it so where do you guys wish to go next after your meal?
Ooh,
Well,
one thing quick. I do want to ask Random something.
Sure, anything.
Hey, did you get that that dagger thing figured out at all?
Okay. Remind the GM again. Which one was that? I did have that. Oh, it's Rusty. Never mind. The Rusty dagger. Oh, well, you asked me to work on it a bit, right? That is what you asked. I was working on that Rusty dagger, trying to
Yeah, just
get it
wanted to see if you...
fixed a little bit, maybe. Could have sworn there was a handout for that. Ah, there it is. I think. Ah, yeah. There we go. Yeah, I found it. Sorry, I was looking for the handout of it to see if it said anything special. Continue. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Lebu.
That's fine. I just I was wondering if you had a chance to work on that at all.
Well, I did try a little bit, but it is a magical weapon, and I kind of figured that if I tried to do too much with it, trying to get rid of that potential of it to fall apart, then all of the magic would be gone. It would just be a regular dagger at that point. Unfortunately, the breakage is part of the enchantment.
All right, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm sorry I failed you with that. And he kind of, lowers his eyes.
Don't worry. You'll have I'll be visiting your shop plenty, and you'll have many opportunities to make it up to me.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, anytime you're back in Orin, I know you're a busy sailor and everything. But thank you for thank you for a lovely lunch. And he reaches over to shake your hand.
I pull him into a big hug.
He seems to make it almost a churring sound with that. He seems very happy to be hugged.
So much for social distancing.
Well, there's no plague around Orin at the moment. So everything's good here. It's a fantasy world, no plague at the moment.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he pats Lobo on the back and smiles broadly and starts heading out the door. What do the rest of you guys do?
We probably need to see if we can help this doll. The person that the doll gave us a name, didn't she? Can't remember what it is. Out of character, GM.
Actually, out of character, the doll has not told you a name at all.
So I guess I just say we should see if we could help the person in the doll. Maybe.
Yeah, isn't there a wizard's?
There's a
school or
wizard school.
something
There's
nearby?
a wizard school here. We could go ask them if there's someone whose specialty is enchantment, I suppose.
I don't even know what to call this kind of. Well, I guess, do we want to focus on the doll thing, or do we want to focus on her?
And
What?
We also should go and see if Fumble's awake yet, and see if we can't find them a body.
well, yes.
That definitely sounds like a wizard thing.
We want to go back to the ship and see if they're active yet before we do this. Not.
Sounds good to me.
All right, and with that, I'm going to check in on the other two.
The shot has Corona in it.
Hello, guys.
Oh, okay.
Sorry to try to disrupt your lovely conversation.
We were very confused about where you went.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to.
We were like,
I am so sorry. I thought I'd said I thought I said switching, and I must have slipped my brain. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
My
we were
bad.
like, do we follow? I guess you'll come get us if we need to.
Yeah. Okay. So roll me perception checks as you get onto the street that you remember.
I think I wrote
All right.
roll
Well-
20.
Volan, as you look down the street, you see exiting from a small restaurant called the Crab and Fern is Random, the tiefling that you were looking for.
Ah, Fumble, right there.
Hey, tiefling!
He seems to be walking, back towards his shop,
I'm
And-
like running after this tiefling.
and he stops. He stops as he gets to the door, and turns around and blinks. Yeah.
Have you seen Topaz and Lobu, the sea
Oh!
running around here?
He claps his hands together and smiles broadly. Oh, they're right in there. He points back at the restaurant. They were having lunch. Well, Lobu at least. I think the others followed and sat at other tables, but
Can I?
I was
Are
having
there
lunch with
windows
Lobu.
I can look through and
yes.
Okay, I'm gonna try to spy through those windows
Okay.
to see if they're doing anything illegal or if Lobu might be gambling.
All right. I'm gonna play off both of your perception checks from the last thing. You peer through the windows. They don't appear to notice you. They appear to have pulled into a table together and are now just chatting animatedly about something.
Doesn't seem like they're doing anything.
Oh, they're doing something. They're definitely doing something.
Fumble, the last time we went to a restaurant, it was bad. We had to flee.
I'm not gonna pull out my recorder this time, okay?
Okay.
If anything, I'll pull out the bongos or the bagpipes.
I don't know why this is making me so anxious. We should probably just walk in.
Think so? Maybe we should just stand here and stare at them until they notice us.
do
Can
like
I
that.
tell if someone's like leading the conversation?
Roll another perception check.
I am all for just standing here and seeing what happens, though. Oh fuck! Fumble doesn't have any idea.
Sadly, you can't tell. They all seem to be talking, and some of them are leaning forward or their hands talking animatedly about something. It's impossible to tell who's leading what, but Topaz seems very quiet.
Do you see
Look
the
at them.
chest?
And of course, Noxie, you can't see anything from Noxie at all.
Olin, do you see the chest?
Do I see the chest?
No, you do not.
Those bastards.
Fucking criminals, look at them.
I know. I say we stand here and creep them out.
I don't want to wait. I mean, does it look like they're going to be there a long time? They seem to be enjoying themselves.
It looks like they're like starting to pay off whatever tab that they have, and are finishing their meal.
Humble. What if we scare them? It looks like they're about to head out.
Hello. Yeah. Let's scare them. I don't
And
know
at,
how.
at
'cause
that
I'm
point,
feeling cranky.
Fumble's eye, other eye twitches, and you see Cogsworth's normal eye color suddenly appear. Cogsworth, you there?
Not now. He
Cogsworth?
just got home, so he's changing his.
Okay,
clothes.
so Cogsworth isn't back in. It just fizzles for 1 second, and Fumble's eyes are just back to normal, back to both fumble colored.
How are we
Humble,
gonna
we gotta
scare
get this
him?
done before he comes back.
How are we gonna scare him?
I say we just wait at the door and scream when they come out.
Sweet.
Okay,
Alright?
Do
all
you
right.
want me to play some war beats on my bongos?
Yes.
Okay.
Performance check.
All right.
All right, so you guys are heading out now.
Yes.
Okay.
So we clearly should not go off.
Okay, as you guys exit the restaurant, you're hearing bongo beats. Bing, 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 bing.
Think of Jumanji.
That doesn't look like we'll have to go all the way to the ship after all.
Perception checks.
That's not one of Red's strong suits for sure.
God damn it, Dovin.
Yeah, Dovin, before they could do anything else other than playing the bongos sinisterly, Dovin, you and Lobu both look over and see that Volan and Fumble are right at the door. Right outside.
Hey. There you are. We were just talking about you.
Boo! Gotcha.
Ah!
Oh.
Please tell me we at least scare Noxie and Dread. Please.
Yeah. Anoxia was feasting on a crab, too busy.
So, seems like you guys are enjoying yourselves. How's it
Yeah.
going?
Where's the chest?
Where's the
Not that-
box?
How'd that go?
Well, we made some money for that.
Oh yeah. You thought it was a good idea to just fucking leave us?
Yeah, it's been a few hours.
Well, you were asleep and you were
I was
Off.
what? I was what?
you were off. You were I don't
I'm
even know what's wrong with-
always off, okay? I'm not exactly. I'm a strange one, okay? I'm always off. No excuse.
Well, yes, but
Did you try
also,
kicking me?
why would I kick you?
I don't know. Maybe it would have woken me up. I don't know.
We'll try it next time.
And
Please
then we'll try it.
So what'd you get for the chest?
Is there anybody around us?
Let's see. I'm gonna go off your perception check, and well, there's a couple people passing by to get into the restaurant, but other than that, not many.
We got about 1,000 platinum.
Okay.
Which is nice, yeah.
Yeah. Right. So what are we gonna do with all that?
I'm sorry. What'd we get?
He said 1,000 platinum.
Anoxia's holding a sign that says "Big Monies."
Well, there's sort of a discussion we're starting to have about what to do with it. So there's talks of doing ship work, and then there's also question of buying stuff, which we did buy something. We got this for you, and I hand out a ring to Volan.
What is it?
It's a ring of protection.
Oh. Thank you. You all didn't have to buy me anything?
You're the captain.
Well, if you all didn't have plans, maybe we could discuss this back in the ship, because I don't really feel comfortable with all that, coin.
Fair. Well, we did have one plan, and anybody jump in at any point. Because I'm a little fuzzy on this. But basically, wizards.
We're gonna go ask the wizards everything. They're gonna solve all of our problems.
Oh, now, wait a minute. What?
No.
All of our problems?
They're not going to solve all of our problems. It's
There's
impossible.
one particular problem that we wouldn't mind having.
By the way, Cogsworth, from your perspective, the last thing you remember before waking up to this conversation and saying anything was the mirror you were holding in your hand, seeing a scene from whatever the past of that doll was, and suddenly the figures appearing around you. You don't remember anything until this
remember
very
that.
moment.
And yeah, what I just heard was, so what did we get for the box? 1,000 platinum, signed with big money. That's when I came in.
Big
Yep.
money.
Yes.
Monies. It's different.
Yes, so Cogsworth, all he heard was wizards and coin, and he has one thing on his mind right now. Yes.
And that it is actually on the agenda to ask him about that, but also ask him about
Yeah.
the doll.
Go to the ship, though.
Hmm?
The ship. Captain wants to go to the ship.
Do we want to do that now or after the wizards?
Wait.
After the wizards.
What are we doing with wizards?
I wanna get separated from this piece of junk.
She's done with her out-of-body
Okay,
experience.
yeah, let's do that. Let's do it with that.
And then we need to talk to the wizard about the doll. Speaking of,
Yeah.
we should probably have the doll. Did either of you bring the doll? Where is the doll?
Yeah, Dread has it.
Okay, perfect. Oh, Dread, did you take your ring of protection?
I did, yes.
Okay.
Did everyone get rings of protection?
Do I? I look down at my hands. Do I have any rings?
Nobody handed you any rings, as far as I can tell.
They don't care about us.
They got us weapons. Remember? They care about
Are there any like pet shops around?
us. No.
Ooh,
No.
that's a good
Oh,
question.
no.
Roll a
Also-
perception check.
You might be up to your neck in pets at any moment, Fumble. The
Oh,
thing about it
You can
is,
have pets after you get your own body.
I'm
Well,
getting
let's
Squish a
hope-
leash.
You don't see any pet shops on this street, unfortunately.
This
Wait,
place
what?
sucks.
Why don't we
You
just
have
make
Squish.
one?
I thought about it. What'd you say, Noxie?
Don't you have Squish?
Yeah, I wanted to get a leash for Squish.
We should probably also get him a parasol.
Oh, and apparently he's making himself at home. There's
Yes.
now a ton of mushrooms on this ship.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Are
know
Are they
that.
edible?
Wait. What
And
kind
do
of?
not eat those mushrooms, Fumble. Wait, can you even eat?
No,
I
we
don't
can't.
know.
But what kind of mushrooms
Maybe.
Are they? What if I can make use?
See, what if Squish
We
is
can make it-
useful? Yeah.
there's also a good chance that Squish just made a bunch of veggie pygmies that are still maturing down there.
Oh no.
That would be so cool.
It's hard to
They
say
would-
exactly what's happening.
We could have our own sneaky army of Vegapygmies.
They would not survive on this ship.
No.
Delvin, no one asked you.
I'm just saying, I'm not saying I would kill them, I'm saying they literally wouldn't survive. There is not enough food for them.
Delvin, let them deal with that part.
I'm just happy
Okay.
you're here because now you can actually do the controlling. I keep
Can we
getting
switch? Or
Yes.
can you something?
here. We'll move this. I keep getting stuck on the mouse.
I made this joke last week, but we're gonna turn our ship into a dungeon that other player characters are gonna come and raid.
Right?
So where to this wizard?
That's a great question. Let me stick my finger in the air and read the.
Delvin broken.
Maybe.
I see.
I'm feeling quite well today. Still a
Oh.
bit tired. So, all right, to the wizard.
The wonderful wizard.
We're off to see the wizards that could separate us. I'm not good at coming up with songs. You should try it.
The wonderful wizard of Arin.
Earn.
Not your best, dear. Not your best.
I appreciated it.
So, whoever is helming this expedition to find the wizards, please roll me an investigation check.
It shouldn't be me because I'm exhausted.
Or you can also, alternatively, you can roll a persuasion check to interrogate random passerbys.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Persuasion.
Do what?
All right.
I'm gonna ask
So,
passerby.
so Fumble
Okay.
quickly asks several people in succession and quickly gets back the answer of, if you're looking for wizards around here, you want to go to the Obsidian Hall, and actually ends up with proper directions to the Obsidian Hall, which is the Mages College here in Orin.
So I'm gonna walk back to the group and say, "Follow me. We need to go this way."
Okay.
And I'm going to lead them where we need to go.
Why are you pointing at Roland Cogsworth?
I just had a few questions.
What? You are.
Yes. I'm a sentient bucket of bolts. What about me is not?
Would I notice this? Since I'm like, would I notice that Bolin has aggressively whispered to
Yes,
Cogsworth?
yes. You guys are sharing a body. There's no reason you wouldn't have heard that.
So would I hear the questions too?
No.
Roll a perception check.
I used message.
Oh.
Oh, you use message? Okay.
Yes. That's why I did the point. Because
Uh,
I make healthy.
You're gonna see one eye just like go and try to like go to one side of the face and then look at Roland and back. Like, you two okay?
I'm fine.
Yeah, what'd you say? Why is Bolin mad? Why Bolin angrily?
let's go to that wizard, yeah? We're good.
Why do I feel like you're hiding something?
Oh, I don't feel well, that's all.
Oh, are you sick?
I'm gonna open up our chest and start looking through Cogsworth's like alchemy stuff or whatever. Do you have any medicine in here that can make Bolin feel better?
Just a nausea, it'll pass, let's go.
Do you want me to squeeze you really hard and help you vomit? Sometimes I feel better when I.
Oh, no need, thank you.
at this point, people are kind of giving you guys a wide berth, looking at the oddity of your expressions, and the strange metal person who keeps doing weird things.
Bolin, why are you so flustered though?
I'm just not feeling well.
You can tell
I'm
me.
sure it's fine.
You can tell me.
Well, there's like 9 of us here, so why don't we just keep going?
Okay.
Did Cogsworth say something very weird to you?
No.
He's
I didn't
weird
say anything.
sometimes.
No.
I didn't say anything.
Obviously, you said you made her uncomfortable.
I technically didn't say a word.
Okay, but you made her uncomfortable. Apologize right now.
I already did.
When we get separated, remind me to beat the shit out of you.
You could try.
I most definitely will.
Try.
I will.
You could.
I'm getting
And I'm-
seriously reminded of a 90s, early 2000s movie. I can't remember the exact year, with Greg Kinnear and Matt Damon. I'm forgetting the name of it, but they were playing conjoined twins.
Oh god. Are we at the Mages College yet?
Well,
We made it
after
there.
a while of the rest of the group looking possibly looking very uncomfortable because of the constant bickering between Cogsworth and Fumble, basically two different voices coming out of one body,
I'm also gonna take a moment to just
and then Lebu yelling.
slap. Slap Cogsworth's side of the body.
And that people are just people are backing away from you guys partly because of the the slapping of the metal thing of itself and the weird yelling coming from Lebu as he
You're
attempts to
very
advertise.
useful,
Lebu, roll persuasion check, but at disadvantage.
Worth it.
I'm the only one that you hit, like, right?
Well, people are backing away from Fumble Cogsworth. People do seem to be Fumblesworth. People do seem to be taking a little bit of notice of Lobu and Lobu's pitch.
We're basically just advertisement for you. We get everyone's attention, you make the sale.
Are you
No,
saying that they're
especially
just
now.
using us?
No.
Anyway,
I'm appalled.
as the pair continued to argue and to cause everybody to look at them, the group of you eventually make it to the Obsidian Hall, a mage's college with several basically tall black towers kind of stuck together and, well, you know, basically they're kind of arranged almost like a small castle in a way with big towers instead of turrets. And what looks like, lots of good either dormitory space or possibly good lecture halls, considering the size. There's a large entrance going in, and it's, one of those big marble halls, very echoey, so if Fumblesworth is still arguing with itself going in, that would be echoing everywhere along the walls.
You just hear Fumble yell, "Get me out of this body!"
But what are the rest of you guys doing as you enter inside the big marble hall with the lots of echoes? There are various students in robes of various colors wandering around with books. There's what looks like a kind of a reception desk sort of thing in kind of in the middle, where you have a half elven woman with short blonde hair, just kind of like, looking at basically answering somebody's question and then turning to look at the group of you as you enter in, as that other person just kind of heads off. Yes, can I help you?
Hi.
I'm possessed.
Hey! If anything, I'm
You're
a parasite. Hey.
possessed.
You said it.
I would recommend you head to the
Look.
Temple of Palor if that's the case.
I was honestly kidding.
Look, lady. We're sharing a body. We shouldn't be sharing a body. I want my own body. Can you help?
Something happened and her soul inhabits my frame.
And I don't want to be in here anymore. It's scary. He's mean to
Okay.
me.
And
You
you
hit me
don't
with
want
my
to
own
go to
body.
the Temple of Palor.
We have no idea how it happened. We don't know how to fix it.
Yes.
Okay. She's kind of like looking back right at the Warforged, and then kind of glances at the group of you who are around them and says, well, did any of you know how this happened? If some kind of magical artifact was involved, perhaps?
Look, they found us rusted in a very old, what was it? Tower?
Temple.
Temple.
Hey, Topaz, how old are you?
Topaz isn't there.
Oh, I thought Topaz was there. Lobu, are you here?
Yeah.
Lobu, how old are you?
Sprightly 75.
It happened before they were born.
Do we know how many years ago?
400 plus.
Yeah, 400 years ago. Minimum.
Okay.
And we both have some very fuzzy, vague memories, but none of which explain how this happened. So can you help us?
Okay. Well, I personally cannot help you, But maybe some of the mages might at least want to have a look at you. Uh, Although I still personally think if this is one of you is possessed and the other of you is the possessor, then once again, maybe I could recommend the temple once more.
I assure you, I was joking about the
We're not
possession,
possessed.
but I appreciate
Oh.
the advice.
We are literally just stuck.
She was in a body. She no longer has a body. Her soul got sucked into my body. We
And
simply
here
want to
we are.
return her to her body, but her body kind of doesn't exist.
I don't even know what my body looks like.
How is this different from possession? She's kind of like looking a little bit weirded out at this point.
I mean, I guess we could go talk to the mages, and then if anything else, just go to the.
Yep. As long as you're alive when we leave. That's all. That's my only concern.
You want to keep me around?
Who else is going to clean up after
I-
Squish?
I knew you loved me.
Eh,
You can't live without me.
So
much like Squish, you've kind of grown on.
So once again, she looks out at the rest of the group, like not sure what to do about the Warforged. So the rest of you found this person, I suppose, somewhere, rested. Is that it?
Actually, yeah, we found them in an ancient temple. I don't have my notes with me because I'm not home.
God damn it, Dobin.
Sorry.
We
Got
fought a
my
puddle
stuff.
and won.
It was like check.
You can always roll an intelligence check to see if you remember the name.
It was like it almost sounded like a Mayan temple.
Well,
I
I
don't remember.
imagine that's because it was based on either Mayan or Aztec. You know. It's kind of hard to tell given the use. It might have been like an amalgamation of both cultures. But it was Tamo Achan. Tamo Achan was the temple. The society. Hold on. The society might have been a different name. I used. Hold on. And that one you would recognize as. Yeah, sorry, I'm looking through my own notes here. I don't have it on the tip of my tongue, and I have a hard time pronouncing things. No, sorry, the city was Tamuachin. I think the society might have been something else.
Things started with an N.
Yeah, it is here. Let's see if I can find it. I have it, but it's not on this particular map. Ugh. Sometimes my notes can be so disorganized. Oh well. Sorry.
No worries. We don't need to find the.
No, it is the entire society was called the Tamiochin.
Okay. Yeah. So
It's like the city, the capital city, and the society, pretty much, hand in hand.
gotcha. Yeah. So we found them in a Temochin temple. Actually, super fascinating story for another time. Do you have any experts on? And I looked at Dread enchantment, conjuration.
Well, our headmaster, Alistair Fizzlebottom, he is good with enchantment, and he really does love a challenge.
Is he a gnome?
Well, yes, of course he is.
I love
She-
gnomes. They're wonderful.
Would
I've
she
never-
perhaps be interested in examining an object of interest?
Of course, and he might also enjoy conversing with this friend. Glances back again at Fumblesworth.
Huh.
I'm Fumble.
I'm Goggroth. Each of us wave different arms.
One more energetic than the other.
Looking at her confused face, I say, "You get used to out of it."
And she's the visitor.
I
You're the
suppose
visitor.
so.
Yeah, this is body.
Thank goodness.
It'd be cleaner if it was. You nasty.
Says the one that pets a living mushroom.
He's adorable.
He's sticky.
So when can we meet him?
Oh, well, I
Wish?
suppose if you wish to wait here in the lobby, I will get a message sent up to him, and if he wishes to be interrupted with whatever he's doing right now, I can arrange for him to meet with the rest of you, if that's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
that's fine.
Which school of magic do you recommend we speak with in regards to our situation?
I have no idea. That's why I was suggesting the headmaster in the first place. He
Save the questions. She's helping us the best that she can, and I
know.
truly appreciate it. But stop asking questions.
I appreciate the help as well.
Could be necromancy.
It could.
Yeah, and honestly, you might want to take their suggestion to see a cleric. I mean, I know you are a cleric, but maybe someone of higher capabilities might be able to
Subsided
help you more.
while I was resting.
Sorry.
It will take some time to mend my connection. God,
I think I broke him.
I don't think you broke it.
Well, something did. All right, guys.
All right. So the woman at the desk, she starts writing something on a script of paper. She throws the paper into the air, and it forms itself into a small bird, still made of paper. And it starts flying away up the stairs in the back. As you all watch.
Did you see that bird?
What bird?
After about a minute, actually 2 minutes, a similar bird comes flying down the stairs, and lands on the desk and unfolds itself. She picks it up, starts reading it, and nods. Ah, well, very well. It seems that the headmaster would enjoy conversing with the group of you. She looks the group of you again up and down and lets out a long sigh. And she claps her hands together. Reggie, would you come here for a minute? And a young, a young, also half-elven man comes running up, more like a boy, but not, kind of in the awkward stage where it's hard to tell, teenager sort of. He's got short red hair, and kind of grins. Says, yes, Miss Cynthia, what can I do for you? Well, Reggie, if you don't mind, can you show these fine people up to the headmaster's office? And she hands over the note to him. Just make sure he gets this back, to assure him that these are indeed the folks, although I don't think that he'll need to, ask anymore, considering the circumstances of the construct there. It's like, all right, Miss
Hey,
Cynthia.
I have a name.
Yeah, me too.
He's just kind of looking wide-eyed at them. Okay. And he turns as she seems to turn back to her work at the desk. All right. What can I do for you? Come on. Follow me to the headmaster's office. He says after a moment, realizing his faux pas.
Yeah. Follow him.
As will we.
Alright, so he takes you up the stairs, takes you down a hall towards a rather nice oak door, knocks on it once, and the doors just kind of open up without anybody touching them. Inside is a large office/library space. with several flying little, little gizmos, little contraptions, just kind of hovering in the air and flying back and forth around the room. Seated at the desk, though he is looking up from it, is a elderly, well, not quite elderly, but an old gnome with long whitish hair, who smiles out at the group of you. It's like, sorry, let me get the voice right. Ah, yes. Ah, you must be the interesting people I was told about.
Hi.
Hello.
So, and he opens up what looks like a notebook, pulls out a stylus. What exactly are you needing my assistance with? Was told of an enchanted object, and of a possibly possessed construct.
Would you like to discuss the doll first, Captain?
I don't know, maybe Lobu or Dovin. I don't really know too much beside the fact that fucking possessed me, so there's that. If you don't wanted to deal with that.
Did?
Dre, why don't you take the lead on this? Fel seems to have given you.
All right. Kind of looking at him, I actually hold out the doll and I say, "This is not a doll. It's a person being forced to be a doll."
The gnome kind of reaches out his hands and accepts the doll from you. Why, this is the colors. They keep shifting. That alone makes it a remarkable enchantment. Kind of stares at it for a moment.
Well, it's talking to him.
And his eyes do that thing that did to your guys' eyes. Whenever the doll was speaking to you. Ever since the possibly the thing with Noxie, since Noxie was talking at. Ugh. But you do hear that the thing. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. And he eventually sets the doll down. Well, that's quite interesting. Where exactly did you find such a thing?
Lobo.
I fished it out of the sea, just randomly around an island we were just at.
And then he hid it from us.
Then it talks to you. To some people, it hasn't talked to me.
It talked to me.
It makes people keep secrets. It's very suspicious.
No, it didn't make me keep any secrets. I willingly told you what it told me.
I told you guys what it told me too.
So Noxie and Lobu are just sneaky little bastards.
Exactly.
No, Noxie is born sneaky, okay? Just leave her alone. If she wasn't sneaky, would she be Noxie?
No.
I pat
Not a
Noxie
peep out
on
of
the
you,
head.
Noxie.
I pat Noxie on the head.
Did our comments just break our DM?
Fuck, our DM died.
No, I'm
We're
okay.
never gonna
I was suddenly thinking of Lebu drawing, Lebu's player drawing that scene of just a Warforged patting Noxie on the head.
Sorry, my internet went out.
That's why Noxie missed it. Noxie, currently there is a Warforged patting you on the head.
Mm-hmm. And I said not a peep out of you.
She flinches and then she looks at you. She gives you this look. Like she's like, what? I can't talk.
Fumble says, Noxie, I'm sorry, he's an idiot.
You're the one patting his head.
It's a girl!
The gnome is
just confused.
The gnome is just sitting there looking at this interaction and just like writing down notes rapidly in gnomish. It's like, oh, this is remarkable. 2 personalities. In one construct. No wonder
We're
why.
two different people. I
Yes.
assure you.
Yes, but which of you is in control? Which of you is the... Which of you came first, or are you both two different spirits that inhabited this body?
This is technically his body. My body is poof.
A very long time ago, she had a body. We think, but now she doesn't have a body, and apparently, I am holding on to her soul.
I got jammed in here and I don't know how.
Same. Our memories have been a little wonky after a 400-year dirt nap.
Yeah, the only thing I remember
Well,
is being told that something about I was the one that was meant to save the world, but I watched it fall. That's all I got.
oh, and he's about to say something, and his eyes just kind of glaze over for a moment again. He looks down at the doll. Oh, I see. And then he holds up a hand, and a book comes flying off the shelf. It's kind of dusty, and it flies into his hand.
Bumble puts out her hand.
You're trying to intercept the book?
No, she's just
Trying to grab just
she's
holding a hand, see if a
following
book-
along.
Okay. So, so he opens up the book and starts perusing it and says, "Well, beings of your kind," and he looks up at Caladriel. Cogsworth.
Oh, I should probably change my name. Go
No,
ahead.
don't worry about it. It's just in Roll20. It's just in the Discord
I
group
know.
for Roll20. It's not in the Roll20 one.
I know.
But
I can change my Discord name real quick.
no, it's okay. He looks at the book and looks up at Cogsworth and says, "Well, beings of your kind were last constructed about 6,000 years ago at the time of the Sundering by King Hypergl. Sorry, let me try to pronounce this name. I haven't pronounced this name properly in over 20 years.
Oof.
Yes, and I wrote it. I wrote it when I was 17 or 16 or 17, so it was a very pretentious name. But King Hyperglaz Teth Grazar III, the last king of the Catharians.
I've kept up surprisingly well.
Yes.
Need to be oiled, but
I know. Someone got me all sticky.
The procedure that
Squished.
he brought such beings as yourself to life is not understood, even with such research notes as back to the Sundering Kingdoms. Although I do pay for artifacts brought in from Eberus, usually you can get them from Ithan. As the desert of Izami is said to be the last resting place of the Catharian Empire.
Interesting.
Would you,
It looks like Topaz isn't here. I don't know what's going on there. Sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying, Libu?
Professor, would you be interested in a recently deceased corpse that was actually from pre-sundering times?
oh my god.
He said he buys stuff like this.
You can't just see corpses.
Robu, I mean this in the nicest way. Shut the fuck up.
The gnome actually looks excited. It's like, really? What kind of what do you have? Do you have something that's been extinct since the Sundering?
Not
We-
told to sign. Demi-goblin.
It's pretty incredible what we found.
Goblin.
I would love to
Well,
know
let
more
me
about
see. And he gets down he leaves his desk and walks over to a nearby table and starts pulling things off and pushing them aside. Will you please put the corpse on the table?
Okay, forgive this is a bit undignified, and I'm just gonna reach into the bag of holding
No, you didn't put him in there.
and right.
Dovin, please.
We had no other way to do this.
What did they put in the bag?
The body.
What body?
Apparently a body of some kind of just
Demi-goblin?
yeah.
So Dovin reaches in and brings forth one of those cloaked bodies, and it is humanoid. It's as tall as a human, and its features are vaguely hobgoblinish. And the gnome's eyes just go wide and looks at this and says, Is this some kind of hybrid? But how do you know it's pre-sundering?
See, I thought it was a hybrid too at first, but the features it doesn't it doesn't quite line up as a hybrid. And actually, if you think about it, a proto hobgoblin makes more sense given these features. Also, we have a very strong reason to believe these are from the past. So,
And what reason would that be?
well, we held up a
Remember?
mirror of the past to the doll, and then this came out, basically.
Three of them, four of them.
He looked like he was about to reach up for another flying book when his attention is once again drawn to the doll, and he rushes back over to his desk to pick it up again. And again, his eyes go blank, and he starts mumbling something, softly, and
She's very talkative today.
We're never gonna get out of here.
and he finally,
Let him
like
take
his
care
eyes
of
come
it.
his eyes come back, and he walks with the doll now over towards the hobgoblin body, and just shakes his head. It's like, this. And then he looks back at the doll and looks at the body and looks at the doll and looks at the body. This information is, it's mind blowing. It's here. I was thinking it was just something pre-sundering that I had not seen before, but if this doll is right, and he reaches up a hand and calls out, for something else, and a really really old book, like one that's basically just a few bars of metal and bit of what looks like very well preserved skin comes flying over, and just like a lot of dust, and starts glowing as he holds it, and says, this book is very old, well pre-sundering, and it spoke of an ancient, extremely ancient fallen empire. And says the time of the swords, that it fell right before that, and so the only information that's even left of it is because of the stories of the swords. And he opens it up and starts glancing through. This is this is that old. And he sits back. And he like, there's another stool over by the table, and he sits down on that, and it's just like taking a moment, and then he looks back up at the rest of you. He's like, do you know how remarkable this is?
I think I do. Maybe.
Oh, yes, my boy. Yes.
Boy.
Compared to this gnome, yes, you.
I know.
This is an old gnome, which old in gnome years. Is, what, 300? But which is still young in elven years, but still. But yeah. Think about how long ago the Sundering was. 6,000 years. 6,000 years of history that it's come about since a cataclysm that nearly destroyed the world and ended all civilizations prior to it, with only so much information coming out. Now imagine times long before that. Thousands, tens of thousands of years before that. When another time when all civilization fell. That's where these are from. The previous cataclysm.
Previous cataclysm. Oh.
So I'm hearing that this thing is worth a lot of money.
Oh my
Alright.
god.
Roll a persuasion check.
What just happened? Like out of character.
Topaz said, or sorry, Lobu said, so what I'm gathering is this thing is worth a lot of money.
Yeah, every time Nob says something about how valuable or cool the thing is, just like the dollar signs in Noxie's eyes just getting wider and wider.
She does like the shiny stuff.
Lobo hasn't been rolling too hot, even with his bonuses.
It's true.
The dice do not like Lobo today.
So, for this find, I am willing to provide you with 2,400 gold.
Works for me. Anyone else? Dovin, Volan?
I think that's a fair price. You know, all this history, very important. I'm sure you can make great use of it. Seems like a fair price.
So he snaps his fingers in the air, and one of the flying little contraptions drops off a bag into his hands, a small money pouch, which you hear clinking, clinking, clinking. And he opens it up, looks inside a moment, nods, and hands it over to Lobu.
All right, Dovin, put this in the. If you don't mind, throw this in the old bag.
Yeah.
So can you help this entity that's not a doll?
I might be able to. I need to discover the nature of the enchantment that's upon it. Figure out why it's been locked into this shape or pushed into this body. Perhaps doing research on that will help me with your constructs condition as well.
Is there anything we can do to help speed along the process?
He thinks for a moment, tapping his chin. Well, you appear to be learned and good with arcana studies. Perhaps you wish to give me a helping hand. I don't know about any of the rest of you who aren't all that familiar with the magics.
Yes, arcane is beyond me. I'm a paladin.
And I'm a cleric. Not much help either.
I'm always willing to help, but my magic comes from somewhere else, not from my brain.
I see. And what about you, little one? He looks down at Noxie.
What was the question again?
If you know anything about Arcana.
Oh, she just tilts her head and writes a sign. I know nothing about magic.
He looks at the sign, then looks at Noxie and goes, "Oh, this is quite fascinating. You do not appear to have you do not appear to be able to speak. Quite interesting. I apologize. I have not met many goblins. I do not know if this is a common thing with your kind, although I have not heard of mute goblins before."
She writes a sign. It's a special curse.
Oh, then perhaps you would like me to look in on that as well.
She just kind of like fiddles with her thumbs a little bit, and then like nods.
And he reaches out a hand towards her.
Just looks at it.
Well, if you would like me to examine you a bit, I would like to interface with your energy.
She still just looks at the hand. She's not really sure what she's asking for.
He lowers his hand. Perhaps another time. Maybe after I have finished my study on this doll.
there any chance you could work on us first? Unless, Dread, do
Well,
we need to prioritize woman and the doll?
I think the priority is helping you and Fumble, but we should need to help the doll if we can.
Agreed.
like I said, in studying the doll and how it's been enchanted to this shape, it might help me figure out what's going on with the Warforged here. Um, as spiritual matters are not my expertise, but you say that it's not simply a haunting, and being that there's a paladin present and that you are a cleric, means that your normal turn undead spells and such do not affect the one inside of you, which means that perhaps the nature of it is something quite different from what is normally thought of as a dead thing. So, as I said, I do not know about the rest of you, but you, and he gestures towards Fumblesworth, and you, and he gestures towards Dovin, might wish to remain here and assist me with my looking into this. I do not know what to say about the rest of you. I do not think you would feel at ease standing around here in my study.
I can take a hint. Who wants to hit the bars?
I would like to stay if that's alright, Fumble.
Yeah, Lobo, I don't think I'm gonna be much help here. So, wouldn't mind hitting out.
Yeah, I'll go to the bars and just watch you drink if you want.
Watch you drink.
Yeah.
Alright. So, the gnome is then now going to spend some time with the two of you and the doll. Ooh, that's a good roll. So, Dovin, please make an Arcana check. Alright. So, while the rest of you guys are off drinking or whatever it is you wish to do, now that you're not in the Mages College, Dovin and Fumblesworth stay there with the gnome wizard, while Fumblesworth isn't able to do anything active to assist the gnome wizard. Dovin does seem to be being treated like an undergrad, which probably hasn't happened to him in a long time.
I mean, Fumble could play some inspiring music, keep him motivated.
I could.
Roll a performance check, please, Fumble.
Lord have mercy. Please let me roll well.
Also,
Huh.
and just out of curiosity, and with the performance, do you want her to consume any of her inspirations, or just have it be a performance check?
She can do whatever she wants with that.
I'm just gonna do a performance check.
Oh, I was wondering because I
Oh,
can't
no.
remember the timing.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's not terrible. But yeah. So you play your music, and thankfully the gnome wizard doesn't seem to be bothered by it. But he keeps treating Dovin a bit as, again, like a undergrad, a small research student who's basically just telling, giving light instruction to, like, go here, draw this symbol here, but you kind of grasp some of what he's doing with your Arcana check, Dovin, that he's, like, putting the doll into a specialized circle where he's running various tests. And he's, like, nodding and nodding, and after about 4 hours, he's finally sitting down. Like, it's now nighttime for the rest of you. You guys are probably drinking at the bar. Those of you who are drinking, please roll me a Constitution saving throw.
was drinking.
So Volin,
Oh yeah.
Volin is like still nice and sober, even if she doesn't want to be.
Plus
Noxie,
5 total.
Noxie and Lobu are getting pleasantly buzzed.
Huh.
So far, your companions seem to be behaving themselves, or at least as
So
much
far.
as they normally do. Dread.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to start placing bets?
This is probably
Did somebody just say bets?
Oh, I did
I
say
actually had a quick
bets.
question.
Yes.
Since there's drinking involved, I know Dread isn't drinking, but can paladins get drunk with the divine health thing?
In theory,
I thought
unless
that was considered like a disease or poison.
unless they have the same exact immunity as monks do at level 10. Of course, that's one of those GM flavoring things of whether or not they can get drunk. It's still possible to get drunk. It's just harder, I think. I mean, dwarves are resistant to poison.
Kind of like Cass from Supernatural. I
Yeah.
found a liquor store. I drank it.
Yes.
possibly this is probably the best Noxia has done with drinking since this campaign started. Because the first time she just fucking went wild.
Yeah. So as you guys are drinking and not getting into too much trouble, thanks to Dread watching over you all. The gnome wizard finally claps his hands together after 4 hours, and smiles over at Dovin and says, "You see here, you see what this is showing us."
Dovin is like low-key struggling to stay awake at this point because he's been up for a really long time, but he tries his best to see what the wizard's pointing at.
And the wizard seems to smile and says, "Oh, that's all right, my boy. That's quite all right. What it looks here is that your doll friend was cursed by a night hag."
A night hag?
Bum bum bum.
Yes. It seems that they were cursed into the shape and cursed away from telling anybody what had happened by a night hag. I don't know why the night hag decided to do this and why it ended up here, but perhaps the night hag was who knows? And he just kind of shrugged his shoulders. Not in my field exactly, and I imagine that once we fix this curse, that your friend here will be able to tell you.
And so how do we go about that?
Well, that's going to be the easy part, but it might cause you a little bit of stress. And he clips his fingers together, and the doll suddenly bursts into flames.
Oh.
Oh no.
Was that
Is that gonna happen to us?
No.
I don't want to be a fumble. Would I even feel it?
Just to preserve the what's going on, I am going to take you guys into second roll 20. All right.
And they can all do their drunk roleplay in peace.
Yes, there's that too. But no, it's just more this might I don't want them to I don't want to spoil a surprise for them. Okay. So the doll bursts into flames. The gnome wizard just kind of reaches a hand out and says, "Don't worry. It is going to be quite all right. The curse that was placed on this was quite insidious, but it probably explains why your friend found it in the water." The doll continues to burn. What?
Is it weak to fire?
It's more of if you can destroy it completely, it will destroy the physical container completely. It will break the curse and allow the individual to resume themselves.
Topaz is gonna be so mad when she
So what you're
finds out the
saying
answer
is
was to
we should have
destroy
just
it.
burned it in the first place like Topaz wanted.
Yeah, yeah.
God damn it.
Do we have clothes for her?
I have my cloak.
Okay.
So
Do we know it's a her?
actually, you don't know anything.
I thought it was a female in the mirror.
The
Sorry,
female
Susan.
you saw in the mirror is the same one that appeared on the boat.
Oh,
She's
I didn't
currently
know
on the
that.
ship.
That's the one that's currently on the ship. That's Cassandra.
I'm gonna know just because it's a female doll, from what I saw,
Hush.
wearing a dress.
Oh, good. Okay. So, after a moment, there's a big explosion from in there, and you hear this kind of chuckling laugh, but not in a sinister way, if you understand, but more
I
of
think
a
I'm free.
like and in front of you is a rather strange figure, although they do greatly resemble what you saw of the doll. It looks humanoid, from your perspective. Extremely pale features, kind of a strangely angular face, with a kind of a long, narrow nose and a pointy chin, with lips that are like painted red, eyes that have have one stripe of blue pointing downwards and one stripe of pink pointing off to the sides, and wearing pink feathered earrings, and the same cap that you saw on the doll. The tri color the tri hat, the hat with the three, a jester's cap.
Right.
With the one stripe of blue down each of the things and one stripe of pink, each tipped with a
Do they
bell.
have bows?
Yep.
Yay!
Long blonde ponytail that goes down to the mid chest, that is interwoven with looks like gems or beads, of really nice looking beads of some kind of blue and pink. But the rest of the clothing is like a cacophony of one panel of the outfit they keep changing in colors, and each panel has a different color, and every time you look away, the colors have changed positions, with just long billowed out pants, like some sort of weird cape down the back, and these tall pointy boots, definitely like heeled boots of some kind, that also just like shimmering colors. It's like, ugh. And that they put their the fingers right to their temples for a moment, closing their eyes, and I can move again. It's been so long.
If I may ask,
And suddenly the eyes just blink open, and for a moment they just instead of seeing whites, they just expanded into pure black for a moment, until contracting around again. Oh, yes, I think I recognize you from the outside now.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm the one you talked to.
one of the many that she
Oh,
talked about.
yes.
The one about the saving the world but watched it fall.
Oh, you poor girl. I recognize you. And the figure just kind of reaches over and grabs the hands of Fumblesworth.
Ah, hi.
You poor thing.
Do you know what
I know
happened
that
to me?
suffering. Yes, you were in a temple, and they were chanting over you, and they killed your body, but your soul was saved by a god.
That was you?
No. I
No,
see.
no,
I
no.
see things. I see
No,
things.
I remember
Who are you?
I remember something.
What? What do you remember? Tell me.
Remember when I had to step out after taking the diamond?
Vaguely?
The reason why is when I saw it, I remembered being in a temple
Uh-huh.
with chant.
Uh-huh.
And there was a figure I attempted to save, but I was too late. I had handfuls died, at least a dozen, but I didn't have the power to save. And I prayed to help, do anything to save this.
Hi. Here I am. It did. I wish he would have, I don't know, stay in my own body and let me live. But this works.
Oh, no. You were already dead. And if this hadn't happened, oh, your soul would be gone too. Long gone. And that empire still would have flourished. They would still be here and now. But instead, instead they crumbled, went to sleep. That's all thanks to you not being sacrificed like they wanted. They killed your body, but not your soul. The gnome wizard is just standing there, shaking his head. Remarkable. Oh, this
and
is
what was
quite
this
interesting.
place called?
Oh, it was Temo-chan, of course.
I'm sorry, I don't think we've met.
Oh,
I
hello.
don't think we've spoken. I'm Dovin. Who are you?
Oh, hello, Dovin. And the hands just kind of grasp hold and start shaking yours. This figure has like rather long nails that are painted both pink and blue. It's like, oh, hello. Well, most people don't usually ask who I am. They usually just give me a name. I've been through so many names. Why? What do you think my name is?
What
Do I have a name?
What's the name? What's your favorite name that you've ever been given?
I've been called so many things. And then it kind of like runs a hand over its ponytail and just starts playing with it for a moment. And kind of like plays with the cap. Oh, you don't want to give me a name?
I could think of one.
Oh, yay!
Ooh, how about Ollora?
No, I don't think I like that.
Sally.
No.
Lucy.
The figure just blinks at you.
Palette.
Palette.
Yes.
Dovin.
Every time we blinked, her color palette.
Dovin, please tell me you have a better one.
The figure just looks down at themselves.
I mean, you're dressed like a jester. You've been a doll.
And I predict the future. Well, it's your future sometimes, or no, the past. I know many things. Yes.
Claire.
Sort of. Claire? I could live with that for a while. We could try it.
There you go. Nice to meet you, Claire.
Claire. All right.
Never met. You knocked, but I didn't answer the door, so to speak.
I say to Cogsworth, have you noticed that her color scheme matches ours?
It's definitely similar.
It's interesting.
You hear jingles as Claire walks around, seeming to be getting no. You hear jingles coming from the bells on the cap.
She's wearing bells.
Does she appear? Sorry if you said this at the beginning. I don't remember. Does she appear human?
The figure does indeed look pretty much human, at least with all the clothing and all that.
Where are you from?
I've been from all over. So many different places. Does it really matter? Recently,
No.
I came from the from the sea, and Lobu pulled me up in a net and helped rescue me.
So you're we rescued you, and you've been all over. You're free now. What do you want to do?
What do I want to do? People usually don't ask me that either. So many things. So many things. What's the last thing I tried to do? Oh, yes, the last thing I tried to do was to get this stupid curse off of me. Not the one that you just freed me from. No. The one that I was born with, so to speak.
There's more.
Oh, yes. The gnome professor is looking very excited now. Oh, there's more to this. Oh, this is remarkable. I did not sense any of that. And he thinks for a moment. No, that's not true.
What kind of curse?
Oh, well, see, I was fixed in a state where I wasn't supposed to be. And the figure just kind of gestures towards themselves. I'm not exactly supposed to be this. I've always been this, but I wasn't supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Human?
Like you were born in the wrong body.
Yes! There we go! Was definitely born in the wrong body.
I feel you.
But what nature is this curse? Because I can remove minor.
It's definitely not a minor curse. No. I've been to the holy people. It's what do I say? There are special artifacts that can do things. Very special. And then the figure kind of tilts its head again, and suddenly, all of a sudden, it's like it's not even like Claire moved, but it's like you don't blink, but it's as if if you were human and you blinked. You blink, Claire's in one spot. You would blink again, and suddenly Claire's directly looking into your eyes, directly in front of you, touching nose to the front of your face. Cogsworth.
Faceplate thing.
Yeah. So basically, you didn't even see Claire move. Claire's just there. Huh. Oh wow, you've been touched by it too.
What is it?
Well, one of them anyway. One of the stones.
Stones.
Oh yes. Oh, there was
How
these.
do I get my body back?
Fumble. How do we get your body back? Oh, that shouldn't be too hard. Oh no, wait. You've been dead for maybe it can extend. Have you ever heard of the spell True Resurrection?
Vaguely.
Yes, there you
I
go.
didn't have it at the time.
Normally, it's only good up to 100 years, so to speak. But there are extenuating circumstances. If the soul is still lingering, you don't even need a piece of the body. You need a piece of the body can help too. I mean, you can use a piece of the body or the soul, and as long as the soul is still lingering somewhere, you can bring them back. But it is very expensive.
Like, how expensive?
I don't know normal prices. I just know it's a lot of diamonds.
I'm gonna look over at the professor. Can
What?
you help me?
Oh, that's something you should definitely talk to a temple about if you wish to go that route. But, I could
divine spell.
continue to work on this problem if you would like. I would very much like to talk with Claire some. But Claire's like, no. I've got some other people to see. And suddenly the door opens, closes, and Claire is not in that room anymore.
I look at Dovin like,
And I will be right back from you guys.
the fuck just happened?
So, you guys are still drinking?
We had a
Mostly.
contest.
Roll Constitution saving throws for all three of you.
I mean, we are.
I'll roll another one.
Just to see.
I mean, I've already determined I'm out.
So, Noxie is just asleep at the bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, Dread, what are you doing during this?
just watching them consider. I'm just standing behind them, adding my R so they might actually fail when they or make it when they're supposed to fail.
Okay. So, Dread, for one instant, you blink. There's no one behind Lubu. but you blink. And suddenly there's an incredibly colorful figure wearing a jester's cap with three bells. The jester's cap being blue and pink, and the clothing just completely radiating with color and a small cape.
Oh, I see
They're
it.
now
Is it
directly behind Lebu. And they clamp their pale hands with with pink and blue tipped long nails over Lebu's eyes, and suddenly go, guess who?
so? Have I seen them before?
You haven't actually seen them before, but they do bear a remarkable resemblance to that doll.
Oh,
I just kind of look at it.
Dread, are you holding your hands over my eyes? What's going on?
No, it's not me, Lou. That's who it is. Sorry.
I'm so glad I'm not there.
Is it Volan?
Why would you say that, Lobu? I'm right here.
Well, when you look over it when he says that and see the colorful figure. Especially with the jingling balls on the hat.
You got some weird friends, Lobu.
Do I notice the jingling?
Yeah, you would hear that. Jingle, 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 jingle.
Oh my god. Oh lord. Oh my gosh. It's the doll.
And
And
the hands let go, and it's like, oh, you can call me Claire.
Ah, Claire.
No.
Oh, did the wizard helped you apparently?
Oh yes, he was most helpful, getting rid of that nasty night hag spell on me.
Night hag. Do I know what a night hag is?
Considering your occupation, you probably would know what a night hag is. Yes, night hags being fiends that used to be kind of fey. In the lower realms, often found around like Tartarus and the Nine Hells. They often steal souls and can do some terrible things with magic.
So, Claire, are you happier now that you're free?
Oh, yes, most happy. And you're suddenly hugged from behind.
Dread is hugged from behind?
No, you, Lebu, you're hugged from
Oh.
behind.
I'll just try and shift around. I'll be like, give this lady a drink. You're free.
And you're nearly hit in the face with a ponytail that, blonde ponytail that contains a bunch of different beads or small gems of both pink and blue coloring. It's like, oh, yep. I'll take a drink. What do you got? And the figure Claire sits down next to you guys.
Have the rest of mine. I'm not sure I can drink anymore.
You're right. No eating that. So, what do you guys wish to do?
So, is the wizard helping Cogsworth and Fumble now?
Well, I told them what they could probably use help with. I mean, you could probably help Fumble out with the true resurrection, but the wizard was offering some additional insights. Possibly save them some money. Maybe create a new spell out of it. He does seem eager.
So can we go talk to? I don't care. I've forgotten her name, but the woman we left on the ship.
Oh, Cass! Oh,
Yeah.
that would be nice. I haven't seen Cass in so long.
Are
Yes,
you
I'm.
friends?
Sorry, what did you say, Volan?
Are you friends?
She helped make me.
And there's no animosity there, right? Like, I'm not going to invite you back to my ship to kill this woman.
Oh, I wouldn't hurt Cass.
Does that sound like that's correct?
Well, insight.
Okay.
Speaking as you're looking at her saying that, I say Claire helped figure out what to do with her anyway, so I don't think she'd want to hurt her.
Sure. Just to make sure.
What do we see exactly when we look at Claire?
Okay, so you see a humanoid figure. They have extremely pale skin. Their mouth, the mouth that they have is is painted red. They have markings, a blue line straight down on both eyes, and a pink line going straight across on both eyes. They're wearing feathery pink earrings, and the rest of their clothing outside of the hat is a constantly shifting pattern of a bunch of different patterns of color and fabric, with long billowy pants and a bit of a cape and high heel boots. Like no two color patterns appear to be the same. It's just constantly shifting, and every time you look away, it just seems to change pattern.
And of kind of indeterminate lineage, like doesn't look like an elf.
Doesn't look like an elf. The ears do look humanoid.
I think we can trust her, Captain.
You know, I trust you without question, Lobu. So, okay.
You guys heading back to the ship then?
Let's go back to the ship.
I suppose.
Alright. They're checking with the other group, but I think we're also going to take a quick 5-minute break to go to the bathroom and such.
Is Noxie awake?
I'm sure that one of the people here will carry you, Noxie.
Yeah, if she's still unconscious, I pick her up.
So,
Oh no.
quick question: do you guys stay at the Mages College, or do you head back to the ship at this point? Now
I would've
that
headed
Claire
back to the
has.
ship.
Okay, we're going to take a.
What? Babe, say the thing.
Well, Fumble would have wanted to have stayed at the Mages College overnight so she could be there early in the morning to go to the temple.
We need to our captain, though. The controller of the money.
Well, I figured that we could do that after if we figured out if we could strike a deal or not, or once we had all the information.
I'd say first we should get the information of whether or not she's willing to put forth a good portion of them. And then temple.
Fine.
Is that alright?
That's fine.
Okay, we're also going to take a 5-minute break to go to the bathroom, and you can also move to the top group again. All right, 5-minute break.
Been work is.
So let's see. GM, instead of picking Noxie up, I would actually touch her and remove her poison by using 5 points of heal on lay on hands.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Out of character. What the fuck did you do?
What?
What did we do?
What did we do?
Yes. Oh god. Screaming inside. Oh god, no. An 8 on an insight roll.
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
oh yeah.
What do you mean? Don't worry about it.
Ain't nothing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it probably worse than me putting squish on the ship and it being infested with vegapigmies now.
We didn't
Hard
do
to
anything.
No,
Something
we didn't.
happened to us.
Yes.
Are you guys alive?
I think I'm alive.
Noxie
no.
was unconscious, just so.
Also, quick thing. We're level 7 still,
Damn
correct?
it.
We're
Yes.
level 7, right? Thank you.
Dang it. I just
Whatever.
got really excited.
For what?
I was gonna go get my corn dogs and heat them up and eat them, but I ate them already.
You did? All of them.
Yep.
Were there not a lot?
There were 20.
Ooh.
I ate them in 2 meals.
Okay.
Technically, I was gypped 2 corn dogs. There were only 18.
I'd complain if I were you.
Can you go get me more corn dogs?
No.
Please?
No.
Please?
Sweetheart, please don't do this again.
Again?
Yes.
What do you mean?
That one Sunday. Please. Please.
Oh.
Please. Please.
Go get me more corn dogs right now. Okay. Try. Do we have any snacks?
Any snacks?
Did we buy any snacks?
Not really, no. We bought meals
Why didn't we buy snacks?
because we need meals.
Okay, but sometimes meal stuffs can be snack stuff.
Also, as of next week, I'm most likely working from home.
Fuck. Why?
Coronavirus.
Yeah, but why though?
Risk of coronavirus.
Okay.
Call centers, sickness tends to bounce around like mad.
All right. Well, wait.
And I'm back, guys.
Cool paladin ability to remove the toxins from my body.
Hey, Grizz.
Yeah?
We have decided that we're just gonna stay at the Mage's Cottage.
Okay.
Yep, and we're gonna head to the temple first thing in the morning. And
Sounds
I also
good.
just learned about the spell freedom of movement, which would be kind of a big deal on an ocean-faring campaign.
Yeah, it would.
You know what else would be a big deal if we had some snacks in this house?
Yeah.
Popcorn.
I don't know.
I'm still wishing I had
Oh.
carrots.
Did you stop and get milk?
No. Because the end. I was planning on going out.
Great, you can get snacks. Yes.
Where do y'all live?
Kansas. We have 11 confirmed cases.
Have people started losing their minds there yet?
Yep. Yep.
And here,
Well,
and here in Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, I know in Pennsylvania. I live in Pennsylvania. Fucking
Oh,
people
you
have
live
lost
here
their
too? I
fucking
didn't
mind.
realize that.
Yes.
What part?
We're not far from Harrisburg, wherever Mechanicsburg.
I'm up in Pittsburgh.
It started last week, pretty much here.
Yeah,
Where you just first started noticing when, the hand sanitizer, and then went from there to the point where now it's meat, anything.
Yep.
All
Yep.
pasta. Interestingly, the pasta's all gone.
Yeah, a lot of
Well,
canned
about
goods.
How far pasta goes.
What's weirded out me is that they had every other vegetable in my giant eagle. They
Oh,
had
okay.
no carrots. What the hell? They had lots of
Potatoes are the go-to veggie, in my opinion.
Yeah,
At least
I
we
managed to buy
always
another bag
buy
of potatoes,
pasta.
and I was gonna make chicken pot pie and stuff like that. No chicken, no carrots. It's a good thing I bought flour when I did.
Luckily, our store
Butter.
had some meat, but it didn't have eggs, milk,
Yeah.
butter.
I'm glad I bought more
Ground
eggs.
beef.
I was actually out of eggs last week, and then I remembered to buy some last Saturday, and by yesterday when I went to the store after work, they were gone.
Wow.
I got a pack of toilet paper before this whole thing started, so I got
Yeah.
really lucky there.
Yeah.
Me too. I put a few away. I didn't go hog wild like some people apparently did.
No, I think
Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah,
our
people
house-
hoarding like 8 months worth of toilet
Well,
paper.
That's ridiculous.
our house of 4 has 2 packages of toilet paper, and that's
And
gonna
that's gonna
last us a while.
ages.
Yeah,
And just today, I go down to the Rite Aid because they had an article out where they're saying what they're discovering is that they think ibuprofen,
Makes it worse.
if you get it, makes it worse.
Yeah.
And so they said paracetamol, which is the same as acetaminophen, so basically Tylenol.
Yeah.
They said use that instead. So I'm like, okay, well we've got some of that, but I should maybe get some more. There was
It's gone already.
nothing but the 3 of the little 24 count bottles left on the entire shelf.
Wow.
That fast. I mean, that was like less than a day that news came out.
So, my dad only has 1 lung, and we live with my parents. So, like, I'm not concerned about getting it. Like, I'm sure if I get it, I'll be fine.
They're
But I'm-
concerned about them getting them.
I'm really concerned about my dad. because yeah, he has one lung, he has COPD, he has asthma.
That's really bad.
So when I started coughing today, I just stayed downstairs. I'm pretty sure like it was, but I was like sneezing, my nose.
Well,
was
they are getting. I don't know about Kansas. I know out here they are increasing the number of tests available.
There's gonna be a at the local Walmart's a drive-through testing.
That way everyone can stay in their vehicles and reduce exposure.
Yeah, but I had to go to the doctor this week because my carpal tunnel flared up.
Did they do a test?
No, they didn't. But when I walked in, I was screened by one set of nurses and then screened by another set, and then my temperature was taken like 2 or 3 times while I was there.
Just to make it absolutely certain.
Because my temperature was like.
It's good they're doing that.
Was it a fever?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
it was like
I think it's some of it's too little, too late.
Yeah. And
by the time that you would show those symptoms, and you would have already had it for a week or two and been given it to somebody.
2 weeks of no
because
symptoms.
I've heard that people like in the under something or basically like the age group of like at least half the group here. I don't know how old everybody else is. I know some.
If you're under 60, you have a massive chance to barely feel it, if at all.
Well, you can
pass it on. Yeah, and so that makes me worried about like my parents are both in their 60s, so it's like
60 and up, immunocompromised, lung issues. Those are.
I have lung issues too. I have asthma and other issues.
Like seasonal.
No, mine is.
Remember some of the victims some of the dead victims have been a lot younger. I mean, there was a 21-year-old coach was confirmed dead of it. So it's like it's not it's the elderly are the most at risk, but it doesn't mean that somebody in their 20s won't die.
If it's my time, it's my time. I can't do shit about it.
And I'd point out,
I'm far more. Yeah.
There are other deadlier diseases that we're still dealing with today. People die from tuberculosis like every 37 seconds across the world.
Mm-hmm.
The scare for this disease is that it goes so long without symptoms. That's it.
Yep. Well, they're already saying from what like Italy has dealt with, they're coming back now and saying, look, don't take this lightly, or what happened here is going to happen to you. They basically just their system was overwhelmed.
I'm waiting on a lockdown.
Yeah. For me, my concern is illness. It's people's lack of awareness and people panicking.
Yep. I'm far more worried about somebody with a shotgun and trying to break into my place
everyone needs
than the virus itself.
Down.
Calm down. Wash
People getting into battles in the stores and throwing things at each other.
Do all the things you're supposed to.
I usually go out on Black Friday, so I see that anyway.
Spring is starting, and I'm starting to get mad hay fever. So I start like sneezing or whatever. And sneezing isn't even a system.
And people panic around you, don't they?
Yeah.
But
it's a good deterrent.
The fact that people are so uneducated, the fact that they'll just walk next to a person that inhales through their nose loudly, and they'll take their jacket and wrap it completely around their head.
Everyone just needs to calm down. Like, I get it. I get that it's scary, and I get that, certain...
I mean, I have a face mask, but it has nothing to do with diseases. It has everything to do with my asthma and the fact that I'm allergic to hand sanitizers and such. So I'm glad I get to work at home right now, because my problem isn't getting sick. My problem is the fact that everybody's using so much hand sanitizer around me that I am getting very ill of being around them. I was out sick on Friday. I'm convinced that I was out sick because my allergies were overwhelming, even with the medication I was taking.
Plus, if you leave your house these days with a mask on, everybody's going to assume you have it.
Yeah.
What type of mask do you have?
Oh, I have one of those.
The N95 respirator.
No. It's just a simple mask that helps against fragrances, perfumes, basically stuff against chemical irritants. I also use it when I'm cleaning my cat boxes, just because it keeps the even though it's not the dust stuff, which aggravates asthma. It's a little bit dusty, but not to the point that I get sick from it. but it still
Okay.
helps to have a mask when I'm doing
I
that.
just wanted to make sure because apparently the surgical masks, like the little papery cloth ones, do next to nothing. 'cause
Yeah,
they don't
those
seal.
are temporary. Those are temporary things that are just meant to keep you from sneezing on somebody else, not
Yeah,
to.
Yeah, they don't
It
help you
keeps
keep you
the-
from getting it
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
help somebody else who has an open wound from getting
Although
sneezed.
they're changing that is actually changing back around again. First they said, "Oh, the masks don't do anything. It might help you from getting it to someone else, but it won't keep you from getting it." Now some places are saying, "Oh no, the masks do work." So again, with
Whoever's,
we don't have information. The
It's it-
public.
yeah.
whoever's playing Plague Inc. can stop now.
Well, the big issue is the
Yeah,
fact that
I
the
played
president-
that the other day, and I wiped out the world pretty within a year. All,
Yeah,
all
the big
from the
thing-
origin point of China with as many symptoms as I can remember
Yeah.
hearing about.
What gets me is that the White House is literally blocking the CDC from actually being honest and truthful about what's going on. They were trying to say weeks ago that the elderly should avoid flights, and they were blocked from putting that on their own website. They're being intercepted and prevented from giving out information that, in some cases, could literally save someone's life.
Yeah, especially
Because our White House is incompetent.
because yeah, I worry about my like I said. This is why I worry about my parents because they are big on traveling and they're in their that age. But not just them. They have a lot of friends also again in that age group or 10 years older than they are because of that who also do a lot of traveling, and it's very possible that we're going to see a bunch of deaths from friends and relatives in those age groups because of this, because of all of the extra exposures on that sort of thing. I'm worried about them right now, but because of that, can we can we please get back to D&D so that we can focus on something else? I know that it's an important topic, but it's like playing D&D. I really been wanting to get away from stuff, from all this.
Read the thing in roll 20.
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
All right, are we all here?
Yeah.
I think so.
If you're not here, raise your hand. Everyone's here. Put your hand down.
But I'm not there. I'm here.
Put your hand down. Other hand.
Dread, are you here?
Yeah.
Dovin?
Yeah.
I see Volan on there. Let's see, Lobu there, Noxie there.
Yep.
And Topaz. Topaz was talking too. Okay. Yeah, cool. You guys are cracking
That
me
was
up.
meant to be Cogsworth. I'm sorry.
Doesn't matter. That either way,
Jesus.
both of you are funny.
Christ.
Uh,
Are you trying to flight? What are you doing?
so back to the game at hand. Cogsworth and Fumble, you guys are still back at the Mages College. Dovin has headed back to the ship. By the time you get back there, the rest of the party has also arrived with the ship with your new companion. And Topaz is apparently on the ship. Topaz, what are you doing at this point?
Probably just on deck. I mean, there's nothing. Waiting to see where we're going, what we're going to do.
And you see as night falls, Volan come trooping back with Dread. Is somebody carrying Noxie, or did somebody wake Noxie up?
I actually used to lay on hands to remove the poison.
Okay.
So Noxie woke up and saw this person.
Yeah, and see Noxie. You see pretty much everyone but Dovin and Fumblesworth, and you do see this really strange, pale figure, with weird makeup and weird clothes that are remarkably similar to that doll that you thought was evil.
Just eyes go wide.
And that's what you see, Topaz walking back to the ship.
Well, I'm immediately launching myself down the gangplank and attacking it.
Oh,
The figure just blinks. What do you do for an attack?
I'm gonna rush up and run it through with my spear, if at all possible.
oh.
All right, roll. Make an attack roll.
I will try to block Topaz.
All right, roll at
Don't be
disadvantage
so
then.
Violent.
Are we rolling
Are you guys
initiative or
trying to
what?
No, just make an attack roll, please. At disadvantage because Abereth is attempting to get in your. Sorry, Dread is trying to get in your way. We're gonna see if this requires initiative in a moment. But you get surprise attack basically with but Dread is quick because Dread is right there.
Dread is not that quick.
Dread is still standing next
Well,
to her.
Dread is nobody else is expecting you to attack. Dread saw you leap down the, would have at least seen you leap down the gangplank and immediately gotten into a defensive position, which would then cause the disadvantage. But let's see what happens. So it's like you come up and immediately start slicing the thing down, and Dread is standing there. How exactly are you countering these attacks, Dread?
I would use my shield to kind of protect her.
Yeah, so you basically the shield goes clang clang with the spear hitting against it, and the figure just blinks at Topaz. Oh, well, you're still trying to hurt me, are you?
Key point, flurry of blows.
Ow! And what effect are you trying to impose?
Well, it depends. Are we close to the water, or are they out on the?
You're the opposite direction from the water at the moment. You basically your back is to the water, and because they're heading up to the onto the dock.
Right. So, but in order to get on the ship, they'd have to be on the pier, right? They can't walk from the beach to the ship.
Right. No, they're on the dock. They haven't actually gone onto the pier yet. You as soon as you saw them coming out onto the dock areas, you jumped down to the ship.
Well, I'm trying to aim it, so I push them toward the water.
All right. So you're trying to do a push. All right, strength.
Doing the
save.
strength save.
You basically smack them down, and they tumble towards towards the side of the dock, like right next to where the water is, and just blinking up at you.
All right, follow up with a second flurry.
Let's see. They're doing a reaction. They're holding the hand in the air.
Does
and
Topaz still have the movement?
Topaz. Oh yeah.
Topaz probably doesn't have extra movement, but we're gonna if this continues, we're gonna go into initiative. But Topaz, roll me a wisdom saving throw. And you find that you suddenly cannot move as hold person is suddenly imposed on you.
Is this like a charm?
This is not a charm. No. It's a spell that just locks you in place. And the figure just kind of blinks.
I help her up. And
Looks
say,
over at
"Okay."
Dread and kind of like mussed up. Their hair is a bit disarray. Oh, she's not happy with me, and she kind of walks in front of Topaz. It's like, why are you trying to hurt me?
Do I get another save?
Yes, you do get another save.
But you're saying this is not a charm or a
No, it's a
fear effect.
It's not a charm effect. No.
Everything good?
She's still locked in place. Unfortunately, the locking also means that she can't talk.
Yeah. Yeah, since she's held her, I look at Topaz and I say, "Stop this. She is our ally."
She can't really respond.
I know.
Yeah.
Noxie, quick, write her a note. Write a note for her.
Well, actually, Topaz can understand me. So.
I'm gonna go up to Claire. I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry about that, but you should.
Does the
Here,
Ring
I'll
of the
help
Ran
you.
require any physical movement, or can I just activate?
Oh no.
It does require physical movement, unfortunately, and even as you're like, looking at the figure and getting ready to redo your wisdom saving throw, the figure is no longer standing in front of you, but is somewhere else. You didn't see the figure move. Lubu, they are behind you and they hug you. Claire whispers in your ear, it's like, Why is she so angry?
She's, well, a lot of reasons, but she doesn't trust you because, we haven't gotten to know each other very well yet. And also, I think she really wants to get us over to a war that we are honestly probably late for at the
Oh,
moment.
against the sharks.
Sort of sharks, yeah.
She leans
The
down
Sahagin.
and Claire leans down and whispers something to you, Lobu. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna whisper this to you on Discord. Trying to remember where your Discord thing is because I've got so many people on this list. There you are. And she just like the Claire just kind of looks out at the rest of you. Oh, yeah.
You okay? We probably should leave while she's still being stopped by whoever cast the spell.
And Claire just kind of waves, and the hold drops on Topaz.
Ring of the Ram.
They-
3 charges.
You're gonna have to literally go through Lobu.
I will.
Okay, at
I
this
have no
point,
problem with
at this
that.
point, we will roll initiative.
I will happily kill Lobo in the process.
Oh, I don't actually have a token for Claire.
Think you're a liability.
Yeah, that's fair.
Noxie, did you say that's fair?
Well, I was just thinking about like, what do you have against Lobu? But then I remembered that something similar has happened before.
A number of things.
Give me 1 second. I have to have something to roll against on this. Huh. Well, since Thalia is not here, I'm just gonna put him into initiative and pretend he's the one. Ooh.
Am I here or am I still on my way
You're
back?
coming up on this just as you're seeing Topaz looking like she's about to do something rather bad which means you still need to roll initiative as well. Cogsworth Fumble is the only one that's not here.
I was wondering how we're gonna set up our tokens.
Let's see, sorry. That's not Thalia, it's just that Thalia's a convenient token to use. Since I can't find a good picture, I'll find one soon. I was not expecting Topaz to do this exactly. But then again, I should have. Yeah, Dovin, you just come up on the thing and immediately you're seeing Claire behind Lobu, Topaz in front of Lobu, just in front of Lobu, looking like she's about to do something rather bad, and the rest of the party just kind of scattered around. I imagine Dread is somewhere nearby Topaz, and I don't know where Volan and Noxie
are. Okay. There's no plants nearby, right?
Right, it's just, it's at the dock. You're on the dock at the moment.
In that case, I'm going to hold a bomb of the summer court in case anyone gets seriously hurt. Because I don't understand what's going on.
Okay, so Dovin, you're holding a bomb?
Correct.
Alright. Okay, Topaz.
Alright, just trying to jag to the side and hit the Jester and no one else, unless they happen to put themselves in the way. I'm still trying to drive it toward the water.
Alright, let's see. Current position. Lobu, where were you when all this went down?
I assume that I was like somewhere near
I mean,
Topaz.
dock, pier, a little bit beyond that.
Oh.
Where exactly?
Dock, probably.
Okay, so yeah, it's about the same distance as before.
I think we're all fairly close together because we were traveling together, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So what do you wish to do, Topaz?
Let's see here.
Ooh.
That would be a strength check of 26.
Oh yeah, they definitely do not make that.
Which will drive them another 15 feet toward the water, possibly into it, depending.
Let's see. Yep. Splash! The figure tumbles away from Lobu and lands into the water.
I'm following them in.
Alright. At this point, let's see, because it's not just going to be from their initiative, it's also going to be other people on the ship. At this point, you see various crew members looking over the board of the ship and looking around. You see the figure of Cassandra looking over the edge of the ship, looking confused. Dovin, you said you're going to use a bomb?
Yeah, but I can't see her, and also like
Okay.
I can't tell if she got hurt by that or she just got pushed in.
It looked like she probably got hurt, but you can't tell for certain. Like, you saw how hard Topaz hits.
Yeah, so I guess I'll heal her if I see her again.
Let's see. The figure under the water, like, looks out at Topaz as Topaz is coming down. It's like kind of floating in the water, and Topaz, you see them kind of like vanish from. Let's see. Hold on a second. Yep, vanish from that spot, and you have no idea where they went. Volan, what do you do?
I'm gonna sigh and rage and slowly make my way over to Topaz.
Who's currently
And
underwater?
Can I jump down into the water?
Sure.
Can I attempt to grapple her?
Yes, you may.
Alright.
So you
I
rage
need an
bonus
athletics or
action.
acrobatics.
That would be athletics.
Is that disadvantage in the water?
Volan, you're still wearing mariner's armor, aren't you?
Yep.
Then no, it is not a disadvantage in the water.
Right.
Yeah, Topaz, even though you're natural cover, you just saw the surprising thing of the figure you were after just vanishing directly underwater, and suddenly arms grab around you. Very familiar arms.
Get off. It's affecting your mind.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep holding her. And that'll be my turn.
Noxie!
Get off. It's evil.
Yeah, just a reminder, the rest of you cannot hear what Topaz is saying to Volan because they're underwater.
This Nox is just gonna jump right into the water with them. She now has the ring of swimming, so she can now do that.
Yeah, so a tiny little splash after the loud splash of the half work.
I was gonna bonus action dash so I can get up to them. I guess.
And you see that Volan has got Topaz in an arm lock, just like holding her, and Topaz is saying something to her.
Can I just use my main action to look around for any traces of Claire?
Sure, roll a perception check.
All right.
You do not see her.
Oh. Okay. I'll end my turn then.
tried.
Noxie, nice try.
Damn good try.
I kind of sigh and I look at Topaz and I cast Hold Person.
We're in the water.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I see you.
yeah, you can see Topaz underwater.
Can or can't?
Can, because it's not like you're very deep, and it's not like it's brackish water. It's it's shore water. It's not very deep. Deep enough to be submerged under, but not so deep that it's too far to see. So
Okay, I'll make the save and fail it. You're not helping the situation. Do you think that's going to calm Topaz down? You don't know Topaz very well.
yeah, I don't think that's gonna cost Tom Topaz at all. Lubu.
Move over kind of as far as away as I can from Topaz. I'm gonna be like, Claire, Claire, can you hear me?
No response at this point. Dovin.
I'm gonna head towards the water, but also look around and see if I can see Claire. Is that a perception roll?
Yeah, that'd be perception roll. Yeah, you don't see her either. Topaz. You can repeat your wisdom saving throw.
And we're submerged, correct?
Yep, and Volan is holding you.
Pretty sure the mariner's armor doesn't let you breathe underwater.
You're still frozen. Yeah, still, it's gonna be a while before she's in danger of suffocating. I just don't think she can talk underwater, if that's the case. Let's see. Alright, so the figure of Claire reappears, dripping wet, and not too far from Dovin. It kind of blinks into existence. Just kind of shakes off. And the cap tilts a bit, but it stays remarkably on for, like, that vigorous head shake. Claire, casts a glance back towards the water and looks at Dovin. I did not think she would attack me. Not like that. I knew she didn't like me, but I didn't think she was going to attack me.
Well, she seems a bit sensitive to the whole mind speaking thing.
But it was the only way to talk to anybody. And Claire just looks crestfallen. Olin, your turn.
Yeah, can I drag Topaz out of the water?
That would be a strength check. You can use athletics.
Sure. Ooh.
With her not moving at all because of hold person, she is very heavy and you're having difficulties trying to pull her and yourself up.
Are you calling me fat?
You're very dense and strong, Topaz. You're very dense and strong.
In which case, how long would it take me to swim to the shore? Like, how far away would it be?
You're under the pier, so you're able to surface to get some air, but trying to lift her up at all is gonna take some doing.
All right, in which
you're in the middle of the docking areas, basically, so it's gonna be it's gonna be a while before you can find a place that you're capable of shoring up.
Got you. In which case, I'll just hold her still and stay put.
Noxie.
Do I know that Claire reappeared?
You have no idea. You just saw Topaz go rigid, and now Volan dragging her back up towards the surface.
I'll hold action like assists with that next time she tries to do that.
Okay. Dread, what would you like to do?
I'll just watch Topaz and hold an action to cast a spell if I need to.
Okay. Lubu, what about you?
I'm gonna go up to Claire and be like, "You can't look. I get it. That's crazy, and she attacked you with a spear, but you like can't cast spells on my friends."
I could have used acrobatics. Well, now I know.
But then Lobu will cast Urchin Spine on her, or like ask her if she would you like some defensive protection?
Uh, no, just some help trying to talk her down. Her Royal Highness is very.
She
She seems to think I'm evil, but
She does. And I would say that there's probably no talking her down. Maybe if she had a little space.
would you like to come away with me, Lubu? Just go somewhere?
Oh no.
Lobu kind of thinks about it and he's like, "You do need to answer some questions, like that thing you said about the sharks."
Yes, I can probably help against the sharks. But if that's all she cares about, but she just wants to hurt me. Oh, wait, but I came here. I came here to talk to Cass, but maybe not now.
Will you bring me back if I need to come back?
I don't know. I don't know where I'd be going at the moment. I don't even know what year it is, or which time period it is, or location. I'm not even. Where is it? Oh, Orin. Oh, that's right. Of course. But what year? What year? Year? And Devin's turn at this point.
When she asked Lobu to come with her, I'm going to step very cautiously towards Lobu and just put my hand on his shoulder. Not like pretending to cast anything. I'm just to make note that I'm right here. And then I think I'll say to Claire, let us talk to Topaz. It might be best if you weren't here for a few minutes.
And you see Claire nodding. Topaz!
Alright. Save. Is that the end of the... Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Well, the rolls have not been in your favor.
I'm
Yeah,
particularly
dice gods are
susceptible
against you.
to hold.
At that point, Claire nods, and since Dahlia's not here at the moment either, I'll just delete the token. And vanishes from sight. Do you guys wish to continue this battle against each other, or shall I take you guys off initiative? It's up to you.
I think once I know that she's not there, I'll drop the whole person as far as that goes.
So, do you wish to keep initiative, Topaz, or shall we?
Well, I don't know if she's not there, do I?
Correct.
So if the hold is dropped, I'm struggling free trying to. Got it.
Alright.
Let go of me.
I can't do that. Can you let me bring you up onto the shore? I'm gonna bring you up to the shore.
And you feel a little goblin pressing on you, Topaz, as Noxie attempts to help.
You know that thing's a freak and it's taking over people's minds. I can't believe anything any of you say.
Look, I agree that it's a freak and it did take over my mind and I hated it. But I don't know. Dread seems to trust it. Lobu seems to trust it. Dolan seems okay with it. I just.
Lobu, sterling judge of character.
No.
Yeah, Dread with the shadow that appears at opportune moments and fights vampires. You know, they're all really great examples of trustworthiness.
All I'm saying is, you can very obviously whoop her ass if need be. So, it's not too much of a concern if we ask her a few questions.
You could have done that. Why were you bringing it onto the ship?
Because she wanted to talk to the other fucking one.
The entire while I'm looking around, she's gone apparently. Obviously it ran. You can sit here and hug me all night. Serves no purpose.
We're close enough that I can hear this. Topaz, she left because we asked her to, so we could talk to you.
Oh, so it's an intervention now, is it? On behalf of a fucking jester doll. Yeah, that makes me so amenable to the talk, doesn't it?
She's not a doll. She's a person.
Noxie holds a sign. Technically not a doll anymore.
Exactly. She never was a doll. She was a person being forced by a night hag into that form.
Well, color me blue. And I actually am blue, so that's a bad example.
You are blue, yes.
But you know what I mean.
Nice one, Toby.
Fine, color me red.
We don't know what she wants, but just because we don't know it doesn't make it evil.
We already know. Took over people's minds while it was in doll form. What makes you think anything has changed?
She only talked to us in our mind. She didn't take us over.
Bullshit!
She only talked to me in my mind. She didn't take me over.
How do you know?
I know.
I asked Noxie, did it take her over?
Noxie shakes her head.
See, she wouldn't think so. That's part of the insidious nature of such a thing. You think you're acting of your own free will. You aren't.
There are ways to check that, and we're pretty sure that that didn't happen.
Yes, but out of character, that's not true. It did make Noxie do things Noxie might not have otherwise done.
Yeah, but that's not because it took me over magically out of character.
The thing is, Topaz isn't aware of this. Topaz, is going on what Topaz knows here. So, from Topaz's point of view, that's exactly
I
what
saw people's eyes glaze over and they acted strangely while under the effects of this doll.
You can trust us, or you can't trust us.
In the face of magic you don't understand, I can't trust you.
Do you understand the magic that I do? Because I don't. But I trust Callie.
Well, obviously.
Did you take the thing to the mages, and what did they say?
They said that she was cursed by a night hag, and he seemed very interested, but certainly not charmed. And I think if she was looking for someone to control, headmaster of a school would be a pretty good person to talk to. He didn't seem at all afraid of what he was working with.
And what? Since I missed the whole thing. Turn them back into a flesh and blood form.
Yeah, well, so it was kind of interesting. So
Here we go.
basically, yeah, so Dolan's going to go into a slightly long-winded explanation. But basically what happened was he did a bunch of testing in a magic circle, and then he figured out that he just needed to destroy the doll, and that's what released Claire.
Um,
And Claire is what?
Well, that's to be determined. We don't actually know yet.
You don't fucking actually know. That's my point. And you're bringing it back here to put it back on our ship. No, I don't think so.
Well,
Come
it's
on,
kind
it's
of clear
good.
she can go wherever she wants to go.
And send her the fuck away. Period. End of story.
But
She
we
wanted
wanna
to talk to her friend, and we want to talk to her. Yes, she can help us.
Yes, Volan. Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. So I don't care if she said period or not.
No. Period. Period.
Very done.
Period.
I was thinking, isn't that one of your relatives, Topaz?
Nox's ears perked up at the mention of night hags, and she holds a sign up to Dread. Night hags put her in there.
Yes.
She just seems like deep in thought for the rest of the conversation.
Why? What? Can I see your that look? I say, why? What? How does that affect you, Noxie?
She holds up a sign. I'm looking for a night hag.
How?
What? That's nothing to do with it. Hags are bad. Just in general, hags are bad, okay? I don't know about a night hag. I know about sea hags. They're all bad.
Hags bad.
So if the hag did something bad to Claire, then
Topaz has a lot of loose haggage.
I hate you so much.
Yeah.
Just your dread, just.
Thank you, Dread. At least someone appreciates my genius.
Oh, sorry.
I think I'm gonna go with her.
God
What?
damn it.
It's clear that like she can't be here, obviously, but she also can't just be wandering around. She doesn't know when she is, and apparently she's got massive amounts of weird magical powers. She
Yeah.
starts wandering around. She could cause some real trouble.
You had a friend on the ship if we let her talk to her though.
So kill it.
No.
Simple solution.
No.
And stop casting fucking spells on me.
I don't want to, but I'm trying to
Then
protect.
don't.
I'm trying to protect her, Topaz.
Pick your fucking enemies, Dread. Do it carefully. Don't make one of me. Final warning, don't cast any more spells on me. Period.
Okay. In my mind, I make a note not to cast aid ever again on Topaz.
Looking back over at Lobo. What are you doing? Make your choice.
I'm going with her.
Good luck. You'll need it. You'll live a long time, just like me. And years from now, when you look back and you realize it was a bad life decision,
Period.
you'll hear these words in your head again.
Might be right, but I can't abandon her.
Abandon us, apparently he's okay. Looking around. Can't abandon the fucking multicolored rainbow jester doll. No, that would be too much.
She's all alone. You guys have each other.
Yeah. A little bit. I think if you go with her, you should take Cass with you as well, because they are both from the same world and they can talk to each other.
What's everybody think about Cass coming?
The only one that can talk to her right now is you or Dovin. And Dovin has to cast a special spell.
I mean, obviously, we should ask Cass what she wants to do.
Yeah, but yeah, we can go ask Cass what her view is.
But more importantly, I mean, as long as you're sure, Lobu.
Yeah, you need to be sure of this decision, Lobu.
Well, I'm not, but I don't see. Well, let's talk to Cass. I'd rather stay with you guys, but if she's just going to be out there, super powered and roaming around, I can't face that.
I can see your point.
Dungeon Villain's got to come from somewhere.
So
Be an
yeah, I think
adventure for some
Lobu's-
party out there somewhere. They'll come upon the villain and it'll say, I was just a misunderstood jester doll.
And then an evil sea elf monk attacked me.
And
Lobu's
it was
gonna
then that I vowed to destroy the world. Oxy.
The elements lived in harmony till the sea elf nation attacked.
Oh, fuck.
Just saying though, I came up with the name Claire.
Alright,
Good
so
job.
Lobu's heading onto the ship. Are the rest of you following? Well, except
Yeah.
for
Everyone
Cogsworth,
fucked off with the name.
Fumblesworth, who's currently elsewhere.
I'll follow as well. And look at Dovin. Maybe you should come with us.
Volan, did you have to leave fingerprints on my arm?
Okay,
I
I'll
mean,
go with.
you were real aggressive, Topaz.
Ow.
It's fine.
My internet keeps dropping. I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Internet's a little weird everywhere these days.
Yeah. Lots more people work. Well, actually, that wouldn't really drop the internet 'cause it's the same amount of people work. Anyway. So, at this point, you see, as you get up onto the ship, Lebu, you do see a flash of color for a moment, but it's gone, and Cass is just kind of sitting up against the side of the ship, looking. Well, roll an insight check.
Just
She's looking kind of upset and distraught.
Cass Cole, known elf racist, he says through like his mind powers.
Okay.
Come go ahead and.
Oh.
Yeah, if you're talking to the mind, this is just for the two of you. Cassandra kind of looks up and over at you. Oh, you've come back. He didn't. She. Whatever they're going by these days. Yes, they left not wanting to talk
Yeah.
to
Sorry.
the angry one.
Yeah, she's not gonna let her Topaz isn't gonna let the jester Claire, as we've been calling her, she's not gonna let Claire stay.
Claire's a nice name. I never gave her, I guess, a name. My God, all this time, I didn't think that Claire would still be around after all this time and know all that stuff.
It's pretty strange. You made Claire then?
Well, Claire was a project, and in the lab. My father spearheaded the project. Oh God, that's oh God, no, Claire, no, Claire said not to think about that right now. That you guys have bigger problems. That's nothing to think about right now. You guys have more pressing matters than to worry about what's going on with me and my family.
I agree, frankly. I mean, look, I I have to I have to say that I commiserate with you a little bit that it's kind of strange. I'm sure it's got to be incredibly jarring and terrible to be pulled out of your time like that, but we've got bigger fish to fry, if you'll excuse the pun. And now we've got another concern. What is Claire capable of?
Well, when I tried from my perspective, I was just going over some of her capabilities. Yesterday, to me, still trying to just figure out exactly what she could do. The tests were remarkable. The effect she had on time. I didn't think it was going to be this powerful. I mean, we figured, well, Father figured that she would retain some of the innate abilities of her, and she kind of like goes over some really basically you have translation, but then there is tech speak and medical speak and all sorts of stuff that for somebody like, most people wouldn't understand.
It's
So
like
it
trying to
completely
force.
it's like there's another language coming out of even in this space where no other language is supposed to be. She's saying things that make absolutely no sense.
I feel like she's trying to force concepts in my head that
Yeah,
have no language
like
and don't make sense.
DNA and like analyzing and splicing and basically things that make no sense to you whatsoever. But
Dr. Cole, you're hurting my head.
sorry. Um, um, but yeah, we don't really know all the things. She she wasn't ready for field testing.
Well, she's in the field now.
And she's
And
apparently been there for ages. For a long time.
yeah. We I have to take responsibility for her because I found her and I brought her here. And you need to take responsibility because you made her. And I don't think she can stay on this ship. So I don't know what we're gonna do about that. But we should talk to the others.
Alright. I suppose we should, but, still, I don't really understand your language yet. It's, it's changed a lot since, again, yesterday to me. And you can see her tearing up.
He'll actually go a little closer and kind of hand her something to wipe away the tears.
Thank you.
I may have misjudged you a little.
Well,
You're from a different time.
well, like I said, you really are the first elf I've had a conversation with. We were just at war with. Well, I mean, there are the dark elves, of course, but what I mean by that is that and she just kind of gets flustered and you basically feel a bunch of confused thoughts. Even in this mindscape, it's just a bunch of confused thoughts.
All right, I'm gonna start translating for the rest of the crew.
Alrighty.
Put it in the bag of holding, right? And it was there for a little while. I took a short trip away. I wasn't going very long. I went out and I swam around a little bit. I come back to find everything all going to hell again because the doll was out and shit was happening again. So there is no reason for her to trust that thing
But,
is itself trustworthy.
and I agree with you on that, Topaz. Your character has every reason to be distrustful.
Yeah. I
And
just want to make sure
unfortunately,
because
it's one of
there's
those
something
situations.
distrustful and murderous.
Yep.
Well, that's
Yep.
Topaz's.
Yeah.
That's the
But
go-to
that's
response.
Topaz. It's okay. It's Topaz. But yeah,
For
Lobu.
Topaz,
Lobu.
violence solves everything.
I'm only asking because if Cogsworth finds out, he's not gonna be happy.
Thankfully, Cogsworth was not there. So.
And he probably won't find
Because
out.
I'm the only other person that hasn't talked doll in doll form.
And anyway, at this point, Lobu is looks away from the woman. He's completely tuned everybody else out and looks back at the group.
So, Lobu, what?
She was trying to fit a lot of square thoughts in a round mind hole, but basically she made Claire a long time ago.
And
Wait, what?
Oh no.
Yeah, she seems to. It seems like magic, but also not magic, and it really hurts my head to try and think about it. But she made Claire and never kind of had. She was gonna field test her before she got sucked through time, basically.
oh, so she doesn't want to talk to Claire or what?
I thought Claire was somebody's spirit trapped in a doll.
She is someone who was trapped in the form of a doll.
So you're saying this future past bitch here is the one that stuck her in the doll?
It doesn't sound like that.
Well, then
but
what is it?
Maybe one of her team did. From what I can tell, Cass Cole here was trying to see if what Claire could do, and then was pulled away. So she has just that amount of knowledge, unfortunately.
Oh, so she's not sure if Claire's evil or not. Then.
Doesn't sound like it.
Sounds like a match made in heaven to me. Send her off. They can keep each other company out in the great wide world.
Is she willing to talk to Claire and go with Claire if she needs to? Considering none of us can talk to her.
I told her it was her responsibility. I'll translate with the group. I'll translate back and forth. I'll be like,
Okay.
Cassandra, would you go with Claire?
Cassandra kind of looks up at you and says it in your mind. Claire just left. We were talking while the rest of you were talking down there. She told me a lot of stuff, but said that I shouldn't be telling the rest of you it yet because you're busy with sharks. Busy fighting sharks? Something. Said something about the blue faction and sharks. Most of the stuff she was telling me was stuff relating to me and my family. Things, terrible things. But like I said, it's mostly saying that I shouldn't. That you guys need to focus on the sharks right now, and fix that first. Get rid of stop the blue faction. Then maybe you'll have time to help us, or something.
Us?
Her and Claire, yes.
No.
I, for one, would be willing to help you, but obviously Topaz isn't. So I don't know what to do.
What would you plan on doing while we took care of the blue faction and the sharks?
I don't know. Maybe attempt to learn your language so that I can actually talk to you instead of talking through the Lobu here.
Or yeah, or Dovin, he can translate too, I suppose.
Can't believe you people are entertaining this prospect. She just admitted to being the one that made that fucking doll. And then when we brought it up, she quickly
Doll?
diverted blame onto her team, not her. Real convenient.
Doll?
Yes.
I made, well, I assisted in making Project 80 Claire. But like I said, the last thing I saw was just those the proto goblins attacking and killing my team.
So,
And suddenly there was a flash, and I was here on this ship.
so what form was Claire in when you last saw her, as far as it goes? Was she in the form of a doll or
the
person?
form that we, well, forged them into? Yes.
Them?
Well, I guess she now, but I never thought of 86 as she, so I'm getting used to that terminology.
Ah. So you were not aware that she had been cursed by a night hag then?
I don't even know what a night hag is.
What is Project 88?
It's probably when I would go into the explanation.
86.
86.
I go into a long explanation of what a night hag is.
And Claire's eyes are just going wider and wider. Glances at she kind of looks directly at you, Dred, and is like, I didn't. Fae fiends? Really?
Yes.
That's astounding. And then it's like, yeah, Project 86. Yeah, we done a lot of projects in our lab under my father's jurisdiction, and 86 was, well, our 86th project. We had more after Claire, but we hadn't quite gotten to the stages of field testing. There were a lot of a lot of the rest of the projects were, I guess you would term, more animal, or just random. It's hard to explain. She goes into more terminology that it would make it's basically making Libu's brain hurt. So that Libu is probably getting a nosebleed and refusing to explain further.
Probably
Are
actually
they
like
like words that we don't have a concept of?
Stop. Loby, just stop. Your head's going to explode. Looking right at her. What the hell were you trying to do? At the end of the day, what were you trying to do?
All right. We were at war. Our civilization was being destroyed. We were trying to keep the empire together. Cities were falling. We had 5 cities left when I was born, and before we were working hard on Project 86, just as I was, working on Project 86, another city had fallen, and we were down to 4.
Lady, I didn't ask for your fucking life history.
It's the
what
only
were you
way
and your
to
team
explain.
trying to do?
We were trying to build weapons and super soldiers.
To build weapons. See, look, they were forging weapons out of people. And they made Claire.
Yes.
But Claire already existed before you turned her into what she was. Yes.
Not exactly. Not the way that you're implying. We didn't take a person and do things to them. No, we took samples, and we took pieces of unborn of. This is basically the way that Lubu's translating the words. What Cassandra's actually saying is far more technical, and you guys would probably understand it better if I said it in her language. You guys out of character would understand it better, probably, but the way that Lubu would have to be translating this it's coming out with eggs. It's coming out with like unborn and samples and pieces.
Uh,
So like she's using words that Lobu would not have a concept of.
Exactly.
yeah.
Basically, glancing on the closest thing that the closest concept his brain will allow from what she's trying to explain to him.
So, was Project 86 designed to take over people's minds and control them?
No, not at all. Project 86 had several potential functions that my father was trying to keep an eye on. But one of the more astounding ones was her, and she keeps repeating that, ability to manipulate time, at least in small areas. And she kind of demonstrates, like, she can make things stop in a localized area, make it look like she was appearing and disappearing at will, that sort of thing, just by moving between two spaces in an instant. Time manipulation. That was something my father was interested in seeing if that was possible. And we were getting good results. Where this would work is that it would hopefully it was supposed to helpfully save lives on both sides of a battle just by going in and shutting things down from the inside.
So she has no capacity to control people.
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know. It's possible, but Claire's nature isn't. I don't. She didn't seem like. I know it's been a long time, and she said so many things to me about what's happened to my family. What happened to them? What? But to me, the way I talked to her, the way I felt her, she. I don't think that she was like that. But I don't know. If the things that she told me were true, I have no idea. And she kind of looks away and looks down, and but she said specifically not to burden you with all this. You're busy. You've got the blue faction to deal with. I don't understand. She just keeps saying something about sharks, but she didn't have too much time to talk to me. I wasn't sure I was listening as much after I found out, but.
So I don't know. It seems pretty clear cut to me. She made it. She's responsible for it.
To help her kind save the world, yes. Not to take over our minds, Topaz.
She still made it, and now it's loose in our world.
And it's going to help us too, if you allow it to, or her to.
No, Cassandra made Claire.
Yes.
She's responsible for it. Claire is now running around out there somewhere. Cassandra needs to go out and deal with it. Her problem. Her invention, her problem.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Topaz.
Feel what way? Like a fucking common sense person? How do you feel? You want to keep her on this ship to do what? Decide she's going to eventually get her memory back and start experimenting on us?
She wants to help us. She wants to
You don't
help.
know what she wants. You don't read her mind. Closest thing we have to that is Lobo, and from what he's saying, they did experiments on unborn. You want to keep somebody like that on our ship? She's all harmless now. Boo-hoo, sob story. Wait until she starts getting her memory back. She was capable of making something like that thing out there. She's going to do it again here. Tell me where I'm wrong.
I for one think you're right, Topaz.
She
So
doesn't.
it's a simple solution. Send her out after the doll, Claire, whatever you want to call it, and let her deal with it.
Oxy holds up a sign. Can we make her walk the plank?
I'm all for it, but I'll settle for her getting the hell out of here and going dealing with her own spawn. And we can get back to what we're doing, the business at hand. I'd be fine with that. I'm not fine with her staying on our ship any more than I'd be fine with that jester staying on our ship. I don't even want Lobu to go. Lobu's okay when he's not being mind fucked.
Topaz, that means so much coming from you.
Oh, shut up.
I would totally hug you right now if I knew you weren't going to
Don't
punch me in
even.
the face.
Yeah.
I already
Topaz
got
probably wouldn't
hugged
hit you in the
enough
face
today.
first.
Thank you very much. I'm still bruised.
Isn't that what you're into?
Shut no.
Yes.
Also, that is out of character. I'm not even there.
Yeah. And I'm sad. No one's noticed
Yeah.
that
no,
we aren't there.
like no one asked Elvin, hey, where's Fumbleworth?
Well, actually, Red has noticed that this kind of seems to have her mind somewhere else.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about us.
Mm-hmm.
We're disposable, apparently.
All around me are familiar faces.
We got a lot going on.
There's a number of things we're dealing with.
Hello, darkness,
It's
my
my
old
Well, yeah, at the
friend.
moment there seems to be a lot of us standing around staring at each other.
Forgotten about us again.
Let's break it down. Let's boil it down to basics, okay? Shall we? She doesn't know where she is. She's from the past, from the future. We can't help her,
This
but she
future
could do
past
something.
bitch.
She can do something about, yes, the future past bitch. She can go do something about her jester spawn. And frankly, it's her responsibility to do so. If y'all are really dead set on helping them, we can get around to them later. But for right now, we've got other problems at hand that we need to deal with
I'm inclined
That-
to agree. There's an
that,
entire
that
world
are
that we
real
have to-
threats to like everybody, the entirety of Salt Marsh.
And if we leave her here, we won't find her again if we want to come back, Topaz.
If it's too much of an issue, we can set a meetup place. I don't know. But again, she's not our responsibility, and it just doesn't make sense to me.
She may not be yours, but I feel she's mine.
I'm
I
the
want-
one that dug her out of the sea.
Yes, you did, but I can't. The idea of leaving her alone without any help here is not something I can live with.
They have each other. They're not alone.
We could
They're- neither
introduce
one.
them to the wizards.
Neither one of them are from this world, though, or this part of the world. They don't know where they're going.
We could show them to the wizard college.
Yes, actually, Dovin does have a point. We could see if they're both willing to go to the wizard college.
I'll translate that to Cassandra.
Cassandra looks up again and looks at Levu. A college? Did you say wizard? What's
Yeah.
What's a wizard?
You got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
That's a
When Dread would shrug and say, "I have no clue." Other than they cast spells.
Lobu would just look back at her super confused and be like, you are a wizard?
She kind of looks back at him.
Harry?
It's like, no, I'm a scientist.
Ow.
Did he just say ow at the word scientist?
Oh my god! God damn it, Topaz.
But anyway,
So, what did she say, Slobu?
She didn't really give an answer super completely. She's confused about what a wizard is, and I don't know. She said she's
Well, ask her what a scientist does. I know it's going to be confusing.
Yeah, Lobu asks her what a scientist is.
We study things. We it. We study things. We try to understand about the world, about things in it.
She's
We
a Dovin.
Yeah, that's actually a really good explanation.
Like a wizard to me, actually.
She's a druid.
That's the best I can understand it. Either that or a librarian druid.
Or a wizard.
Looks at Dovin.
Speaking of which, Dovin, where are Fumble or Cogsworth?
She cares.
Dovin looks back at you all, kind of like looking lost in thought, and I think they were either staying at the Wizards College or were going to find the Temple of Palor already. They said something about the Temple of Palor.
Why is that temple so familiar?
All I know is that Dread really puts the pal in paladin.
I'm just trying to figure out where I've heard that name before.
In your Sunday evening campaign.
Exactly.
Palor is a very popular god in D&D.
I love how she didn't even entertain it. She's like, Sunday. Okay, alright, cool.
Well, it sounds like that she might actually be happy with the wizards. She probably has a lot of information that the wizards want, considering the time period she's from.
Oh yeah. Devin says, "Oh, that reminds me. Lobu?
Yeah?
Oh, that's right. Everybody was there. Never mind. It wasn't in private. That's right. You guys didn't go to the bar until after that.
Right.
So Dredd already knows about the money.
Yeah.
My bad.
Well, then I guess we can leave them at the Wizards College, and hope that Claire stays put. But I'd like to give Claire a stone of far speech, if at all possible.
Far speech, what does that do?
Actually, what I know about these?
Roll an Arcana check.
19.
Hold on a second. Trying to see if you changed the name around or if I'm forgetting something here.
Is Lobo actually an intelligent character?
Find out next time.
No.
Well, when you got a +4, so that you're either proficient or intelligent.
Proficient.
He's
Uh,
not
do,
smart.
do you mean Ascending Stone by chance, or are you talking about something else?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, one of those.
Okay. So yeah, you know that they come as a set. That pretty much it works by one person has one stone, the other stone is somewhere else. They work point to point, but they can work anywhere in the world as long as actually anywhere on the plane really. As long as the person's still in the same plane as you, you can use this stone to communicate with them. As long as they have the other stone, or you can potentially listen in on them. And speaking of what, I suddenly realized that Dovin is actually got a level of exhaustion because he didn't sleep the night before, so he is very tired and he says, bed, and goes off to his cabin.
Okay. So, I guess we're going to take them to the Wizards College. It seems to be the best option.
works for me as long as I can kind of stay in contact. I feel very responsible.
I do too. We do have other responsibilities.
Yeah, so if we're still going here, I'll like run to randoms and just burst through the door. Start demanding sending stones.
He was getting ready to close up shop because of the time, but as soon as you burst in, he smiles at you. And sending stones. And I think he already quoted you a price on that. Hold on, let me check. Let me see if I can find the card for it. Sorry, my cat is now laying on top of everything, as cats do. Nope, he does not seem to have a price already for sending stones. But he is pleased to see you. Like, how is my favorite sea elf doing? And it looks like you didn't bring the surly one back with you.
No, she's very busy being very surly.
I don't think she liked me very much. It's a shame.
She doesn't. She hates her guts.
the tiefling looks sad.
I'm sorry, random, and I don't mean to be so blunt, but I do have to do something really quick.
Lyra.
We've got a lot of weird stuff.
My cat's trying to grab
on.
my pen.
So that's it. Like I thought his name was random, not Ollira.
No, Lyra's my cat. She's grabbing up my pen. So I was telling her no. Okay, so uncommon. He pulls out the sending stone set he has available to you, and he looks it over. Okay. Let's see. And says, for you, Lobu, I'll sell it to you for 46 gold.
You got yourself a deal.
And he hands you a set. No, Lyra. No, my pen. He hands you over the set. He takes the gold and smiles at you. Well,
Thanks, random.
I do hope I will see you again.
Yeah, we got to get one of our own set at some point, but can't talk. Gotta go.
And he seems to be blushing a bit purpley because his skin. Actually, wait, no. What color is his skin color? I have it written down here. I thought it was blue, maybe, or maybe. Lyra, no, stop trying to grab my pen. No, little claws. Sorry. Where'd it go?
You have a
yes, blue. So yeah.
on your hands.
Yes, I do. No, yeah, he's blushing a bit purple because his skin tone's blue. So yeah, and you see that as you run out again.
Does she too like snacks?
Yes, she does actually, but she's allergic. She's allergic to fish protein, so she can't have any of that.
What about falafel protein?
I don't know. But do any of the rest of you have anything you wish to do for the rest of the session?
I mean,
should we split up the cash, like we were talking about?
I think so.
Yeah, did we want to do that?
That's definitely something you can also, unless there's like some role play you want to get out of it, you can worry about that, like between sessions if you need to. Just talk about it on Discord. But if you got some role play things you want to do with the splitting up the cash, I'm all for that.
Yeah, it was like 1,678 gold apiece.
if
If we treat
that archmage wants any help with like potion stuff, I'm fine helping in a little bit of my downtime because I only need to rest about 6 hours. and I feel
Okay.
like we've been there for. We're gonna have a lot of downtime waiting for everyone else to meet us.
Yeah, especially since you decided you wouldn't stay there until
Yeah.
morning and
If it's
hit the
alright,
temple. Yeah. But if no one knows anything else they wish to get done specifically, I think it seems like a good place to end it for today.
I think we're ready to go back to Saltmarsh, aren't we?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, finally.
I can get with Cogsworth and fumble between sessions to work out what's going on with them and get them back to the ship. If there's anything else you guys you wish to do,
Well,
like you know,
what are we doing with Cassandra? You staying with the wizards?
I think it's agreed that
Is
Cassandra
someone eating?
can stay there, and that Lobu's handing her a sending stone to hopefully that Claire will come back.
Okay, good enough.
Okay, so Lobu's staying.
Yep.
Hey, Grace.
Good.
Yeah.
Did you want to stay on for a second? Because we already kind of figured out what we want to do.
Actually, the reason I wanted to stop is because I'm really tired.
Aren't you always tired?
No, it's just that I've been sitting in the same chair all day because I've been working from home. So yeah, I wanted to get up and stretch, but
Yeah.
so yeah.
We'll talk